Anarchy pics. Waterfall. Waterfall! Oh, there's an anarchy pic. There's my beautiful baby. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. And that's my beautiful baby down by the river. In case anybody's wondering, here's my beautiful baby. Hey, 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 Boogie Bear. Are you making TV? Making TV? You're such a beautiful baby. He's such a beautiful baby. Okay, so where are we at? Oh, I know. I want a bong hit. It's Dabs for Donations Friday, and I got a few dabs ready to go. So I'm going to have a big old bong hit because the first one's free, baby. If anybody would like to join me, just go ahead and follow me and do exactly as you see. And we'll have a nice big old bong hit together. Doesn't that sound good? It sounds good to me, I'll tell you that. I am so ready for a bong hit. So, are you guys ready for a bong hit? I'm ready for a bong hit. Who's ready for a bong hit? This guy right here. This guy. Okay, so let's see. It's a beautiful day in the Northwest. Another perfect Northwest afternoon. Lots of rain, little bit of sunshine. What else could a guy ask for when you live in a rainforest, right? Who's ready for a bong hit? It's bong hit time. Bong hit, bong hit, bong hit, bong hit. Bong, 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 bong. Alright, so it's a call-in show, as you guys may or may not know. And tonight's subject is, do you believe the people who occupied the U.S. Capitol building are terrorists? Or do you believe that the people, the protesters who occupied the people's house should be considered terrorists? Do you think they should be considered terrorists? Because I think they should be considered heroes that the founding fathers would have been proud of. But that's just me. You know, I mean, I have a lot of strange views when it comes to America and freedom. But I think it's really important to get you guys' opinions out, because all I hear on TV is domestic terrorist, domestic terrorist, domestic terrorist. And what I saw is I didn't see any buildings blown up. I didn't see any fires set. I didn't see any paintings, priceless paintings ripped down, statues toppled to the ground. I didn't see spray painting everywhere. I don't know where this terrorism thing comes from. I think the only people that were actually terrorized were the lawmakers. And that seemed appropriate to me. I needed that. I needed that so much. Okay, so again, I know. Okay, so first they called them anarchists, right? Which I was like, these aren't anarchists. They're not tearing shit down. They're not fucking spray painting everything. They're not all dressed in black from head to toe. They're not toppling statues, And then they called them a mob, right? Oh, the mob, and then it was insurgents. The insurgents have taken over the Capitol building, which is an incredibly wrong thing to call Americans. And then now they're domestic terrorists, right? And I personally am incredibly offended by that, because I think a terrorist, the label terrorist should be reserved for, people that are blowing shit up. Again, I think the only people terrorized on that day were people that work in the U.S. Capitol building. And as I've said again and again, people should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. And it's disgusting that nobody in that House of so-called representatives wants to call these people Americans. Nobody is all the the Trump tards that are like, oh yeah, we gotta fight this election process, which is fine. I'm really good with that. I'm really glad to see someone fighting for every vote. At the same time, I can't stand Donald Trump. So and I don't see these people as pro-Trump people, regardless of what they are. I see them as Americans, just as I saw the protesters all summer long when we showed live protesting going on all summer long and took phone calls about it. I said, I see Americans again and again and again. I'm pretty consistent on this. So, but it's not about Mox News. Has always been about your guys' opinion, what you think. It's been the intent here was that everyone else is going to censor your opinions because they don't like it, But Mox News hasn't done that. Mox News always felt that your opinion is of value regardless if we like it or not. It's not about me. It's about you, what you have to say, what you think, what you see is going on, and sharing that with others. So if you want to call, the number's right there on the screen. It's 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. I'm sorry, 805 Mox News. So, yes. If I really want you guys' opinion on this, okay? I mean, we were debating tonight, me and Craig were debating whether or not to make the show titled, should Facebook have the power to censor the leader of the free world? Because I again, this thing with the censorship of the president of the United States, I've talked about this, you guys. I've talked about censorship from day one. And it's always been about, these people, they don't have the right to censor basic free speech because they don't like what's being said. And that's what I see happening. And I don't just see it happening to my next door neighbor, or some goofy millennial who wants to look at me. What I see is, I see the president of these United States, the leader of the free world, being told, you can't say what you want to say. And he's not sending out links to child pornography, or whatever else, that we would all go, oh my God. He's saying, look at what's happening. This is what I see happening. That's what Twitter is supposed to be about. That's what Facebook is supposed to be about. Look at what's happening. This is what I see. What do you guys think? And somehow freedom of speech is now evil. It's been that way on the YouTube for some time. It's been that way on the Twitter, more and more and more. And the Facebook has never liked the free speech. So I'm really, really tired of people trying to, say, that these are domestic terrorists. That somehow I really just can't accept the idea that some bullshit fucking tard sitting behind a keyboard is saying, yeah, the president of the United States can't say that to everyone in the free world because I decided. And I don't give a fuck, Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg should be squeezed like a fucking zit. Okay? he is fucking horrible human being if he wants to act like his platform has the right to censor the president of the United States. And so are anybody else. You know, I can't stand censorship. You guys have no idea when it comes to censorship how much I hate it. But when I see manipulation like this, like some asshole sitting behind a keyboard trying to say, yeah, I make decisions about what the president of the United States can and cannot say. That's some bullshit right there. Okay? That's some, I don't know who those people think they are, or if that makes them feel incredibly powerful or what. It would make me sick to my stomach to have that job. To be able to tell people, oh, this is acceptable speech and that's not acceptable speech. That would just make me sick. And then to act like somehow, and I can decide what's acceptable for the most powerful person in the world. God, I can't imagine what that person must be like, you know? Probably just some tool collecting a paycheck, but still, I see him as this evil, villainous fucking, ha 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 ha, now we got you. Censored, no more Facebook for you. And I could be wrong, like I said, but that's the way I see these people. You give them like an inch, you know, they say you give them an inch and they take them off, because a little bit of power makes them think that they're like, oh, I have all the power now. I am all powerful. And this is why I fought against it and fought against it and fought against it forever. Censorship is bullshit. Censorship is like this thing where they say, oh, that's fake news. You know, the Twitter started labeling stories, you know, oh, well, this is incorrect, that's fake, blah, 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 whatever. Hey, how's it going, man? You know, and it's just gonna get worse. This is the same thing. This is the same exact thing with labeling protesters terrorists. It's just going to get worse. You know, now, you know, I hate that fucking word just being thrown around like it's no big deal. Do you try and scan that and see if it worked? All right, cool. So Craig has, oh, it's behind it. It's behind the live thing. You see that? You see it behind the live thing? Okay, well, listen to me. I'm the fucking show. I'm the ringleader here, man. Do you see what's happening? It's behind the live thing. You can't scan it behind the live thing. It's behind the live thing. Can't see it. There's a banner that says live. I'm watching. I'm watching. I'm watching. Oh, it's not, doesn't say live there. Huh, weird. Okay. All right, thanks. All right. So, if anybody wants to donate for some Bitcoins, because I know there's a bunch of new Bitcoin millionaires out there that have been, you know, extremely well informed thanks to Mox News for a long, long time, even though, you know, lately it may be a little bit slow. The many years of great service. So, and I know that you guys that have all the money and the Bitcoins, you know, it cost you pennies. It cost you pennies to kick down something to me. So, it'd be really nice if you could make that happen. What?
Okay, so they gotta have Bitcoin on their mobile device to make that work, but if they scan that, it'll take them right into Coinbase and they can drop you a couple dimes today.
Okay, that'd be very nice. I love pizza. So,
and, on a Skype call. I'm gonna see if I can join our audio up because he wants to talk. But it's
no. Craig, can we set it up between you and me first and work out the kinks before we do this?
I think they're their audio, but I gotta get you on screen if we want to go video. Just stand by for a minute while I'll let Mike saw what the fuck. Hang on, I know they can't see us yet.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Where's my thing? I need to go back to here. Hold on. Okay. So again, I am interested in what you guys think. I have always been interested in what you guys think. I've always said that what you guys think is really what makes Mox News the most interesting. You know, because I mean, we play clips, you know, from mainstream media, and we twist the titles a little bit, and we try to, you know, manipulate things so that people can see, you know, that there's some shenanigans going on with this information that obviously is coming directly out of the Pentagon. Obviously, you know, there's no real reporting going on. You have this information that the Pentagon gives you. That's not how you find out what's happening in the world. They're the last source that you would go to. Okay, so and that being said, you know, we have all these people now, and now it's like, oh, we can censor anybody. We can censor anybody because we don't like what they're saying. It could be, and again, it's not. I don't see an incitement to any kind of violence. I don't see violence. Okay, what happened in the House of Representatives, I do not see as violent acts. I see as people occupying the people's house. Okay, that's really all there is to it. Again, there's priceless art there that could have been broken, smashed, ripped off the walls. There's granite staircases and walls that could have been spray painted like crazy. Fires could have been set all over the building. I don't see that happen. I don't see anything like that happen. Okay, that's what violent people, terrorists, mob, rioters. That's what they do. That's what the looters. That's why the looters aren't protesters. You guys like, oh well, maybe if the Black Lives Matter people didn't attack businesses, they don't attack businesses, asshole. They attack fucking government buildings. Okay. Oh, we watch Portland night after night attack fucking police, FBI, fucking buildings. Okay. It wasn't. You know, that they're trying to fucking take advantage of whatever. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Go ahead.
Yeah, is this Mike?
This is Mike.
Mike, are you? You know, I just heard you say earlier that you are curious about what we think.
Yes, of course.
I'm also curious as to what you think. I've tried over the years to, figure out your stance politically, and I really don't understand. After all this time,
I think Republicans and Democrats are exactly the same. That's my stance.
I think Republicans and Democrats are exactly the same.
Yep, they're just talking to different suckers. Okay. They're just talking to people who want to believe, oh yeah, look, they're good Christians. Or, oh yeah, they're real liberals. It's fucking bullshit. Or they're real progressives. No, it's fucking bullshit. There's no left, there's no right. The Republicans and the Democrats have worked together hand in hand happily to bring us to this moment in history right now, where we've fucking spent trillions and trillions of dollars, you know, based on lies. In wars based on life, you know, they're not. I don't feel like either side is representing anyone in the working class at all.
None of them.
None of them.
You don't feel that any of them.
None of them. Not a single one. I feel that there's some of them that are doing theater to act like, oh, we're on your side. In fact, most of them are doing theater like that. We're the ones that are on your side. We're the liberals. But they're not. They're not. They're bullshit liberals and bullshit conservatives whose only function is to somehow hold the people of these United States down while they fucking commit heinous acts of crimes against humanity around the world in our good name. Go ahead.
Okay, I think what you're saying is to a certain extent there's validation that, but to say all of them, to blanket an entire group of people I think is actually just completely absurd. I mean, there's plenty of evidence of people that are absolutely have done nothing but, and their record shows, like Bernie Sanders, who has done nothing but fight for the working man his entire career. Okay,
and has accomplished what for the working man?
What does that got to do with him? It wasn't that he wasn't.
It has a lot to do with him when he's in a position of power. You asked me a question, let me fucking answer it. What does it have to do with him? When they were voting to fund the illegal wars based on lies, one single senator could have stopped it at any given time, and Mr. Bernie Sanders chose not to. That's what it has to do with him. So we're clear.
Okay, you see, Mike, you're talking out your ass. He never voted for any wars.
No, he has the ability to stop the funding of them. He says any one senator can stop any single bill at any time by saying, I object. That's all it takes.
He has never, ever in his career, again, going back to his integrity, ever voted for a fucking war, ever.
And did he stand up to say, I object? This is not going to, because yes, it does. Yes, it does. When the NDAA comes to the fucking floor, and they're fucking voting on spying on every single American in the United States and making every single American potential domestic terrorist. Fucking did Bernie Sanders say, no, this is not okay. I do not accept this. I'm stopping it here. He could have and did not.
No, there is no senator that has the power to stand up, Mike.
Yes, they do. Any one senator can stop any bill by saying, I object.
See, that's just factually, that's ridiculous. What you're saying is ridiculous.
Nope.
If that's the case, then there would never be a bill passed ever in the history of this country.
No.
If a senator can stand up and object.
Because I've watched it happen 1,000 times. Okay? If any one senator, if there was any people, if what I was saying is not true, that they're not the fucking same, then yeah, then we'd see a fucking difference. But we don't. What we see is these people reaching across the aisle to work together to make something happen. Bullshit.
Show me where Bernie Sanders reached across the aisle and gave up something that he stood for. Show me the evidence of that. You know, people can say things, but I need proof. Just like the proof of you talking about how a senator can stand up and object and put a stop to a fucking war or something. Mike, what you're saying is absurd.
They can stand up and object to the funding of the Pentagon. Okay?
It's not true, though.
It is true.
See, what you're saying is not true. It's not factual.
I've watched it happen again and again.
Senator, look, when you require 60 votes, all right, so what you're saying is 60 out of 100 senators all vote for something, and one of those other 40 can stand up and object, and it's all done with.
No, they object before the bill comes to the floor, and and before they have debate or anything like that, a senator stands up and says, "I object to this bill," and they withdraw it until a later date. It's the way it works. I've watched it happen 1,000 times. I've watched it happen 1,000 times.
Well, you misinterpreted what you're watching, okay? And I wish somebody else would call in and verify what I'm trying to tell you, because somebody can't stand up in the Senate and object to a freaking bill brought to the Senate, made it through the House and brought to the Senate, and just simply stand up and object, Mike, and then that be it.
Yes,
it be
you
dropped.
can do.
That's not the way that it works.
Yes, no, that's exactly the way it works. That's exactly the way it works. Okay, and you don't know what you're talking about.
I appreciate you taking my call, but you're absurd, man. What you're saying is absurd. It's not the truth. It's more of the crap that you're railing against, of falsehoods and fake news. That is
what fake news?
That is not the way that legislation works. That is not the way a bill gets presented and made into law. Somebody can just object to it. It's called a vote. That's all. Look, you vote on the bill, and it passes or it doesn't, but somebody standing up and objecting? Really? Because never in the history of this country would ever a single bill ever be passed for anything. for anything. And to literally go all the way across and put a blanket on everyone and say that none of them stand for anyone is just so, like, I'm not going to say it's disingenuous.
It says right here, in the United States, in the United States, a hold is a parliamentary procedure permitted by standing rules of the United States Senate, which allows one or more senators to prevent a motion from reaching a vote on the Senate floor. Boom. Google it.
And then that is voted on, Mike.
No, how can a vote that has been stopped from reaching the Senate floor be voted on?
How about this? You've got a hell of a library, okay? Why don't you show me? Why don't you put it up, all right, and prove me wrong what you're talking about?
Why don't you fucking Google it and get a fucking clue? Okay, can one senator stop a bill? It's right there, top of the page. Figure it out. I just read it to you. One or more senators can prevent a motion from reaching a vote on the Senate floor. Duh! How much more clear can I make it to you?
Mike, put it up. Show me it in progress what you're talking about. And while you're doing it, show me Bernie Sanders fucking going against the man with more integrity than the entire fucking Republican Party he has in his pinky fucking fingernail.
Bernie Sanders could have fucking...
Dude, you're a fucking scumbag.
Bernie Sanders, Jill Stein offered to step out of the way of the Green Party and give Bernie Sanders the fucking nomination when he was running against Hillary Clinton because that election was clearly manipulated, just like U.S. elections again and again. So Jill Stein said, I will step aside as the Green Party nominee and allow Bernie Sanders to take that position and fucking destroy Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And instead of doing so, instead of Bernie Sanders taking the nomination from the Green Party and giving the people an actual alternative choice to fucking douchebag or douchebag 2, Bernie Sanders chose to be douchebag 3 and not do a fucking thing and sit back and say, yeah, I support Hillary Clinton's nomination for the President of the United States. Yeah, Bernie Sanders, I want so much to fucking... I posted as many Bernie Sanders videos as anybody, okay? And I talked about this again and again, I want there to be somebody I can believe in. You know, and the reason I post Bernie Sanders videos is because he says things that are important. He says things that are important. The problem is he doesn't actually make anything fucking happen. That's the real problem with Bernie Sanders. Okay, when he can, okay, and don't tell me how he couldn't have fucking become the nominee of the Green Party and been on the ballot in all 50 states as an option for President of the United States. He could have done that after shenanigans being played during the elections that fucked him out of being the legitimate nominee. He could have done that, and he chose not to. He chose not to, and he gave people nowhere to go. Okay? So Bernie Sanders isn't who you think he is. And it's really unfortunate because I wish more than you do that he was who you think he is. But he's not. And it's really sad that that's where we're at. So, you know, thanks for calling. I really appreciate it. He hung up, by the way. He didn't want to hear what I have to say. Although he said, I really want to hear what you have to say. I want to know where you're at politically. I can't figure out all this time. I can't figure out where you're at politically. I'm really clear where I'm at politically. Okay? We must get rid of the party system. Okay? As long as there is a D or an R or an I next to people's names, it's not going to work. What we need is on election day, Americans voting for Americans, not Democrats voting for fucking Democrats and fucking Republicans voting for fucking Republicans. We don't need that. It doesn't work for us. In fact, it's what's brought us to this fucked up place in history where we're at right now, with Donald Trump for president. That's what the Republicans and the Democrats have brought us. So we're clear. Working hand in hand, making all of you potential domestic terrorists, including your children, so that we can spy on them. That's why you have to be a domestic terrorist. Potential domestic terrorist, so that we can spy on every single thing that you do. That's who this piece of shit government is. And if that's the kind of piece of shit government that you want, and you want to call it freedom, you should talk to your doctor, because your medication needs to be adjusted. There's just no doubt about that. Okay, so I'm going to play a quick video. I'll be right back. I got to figure out what's going on over here. Hold on. Just a minute. Okay, I'm going to play a video. I got a video here about people that have been arrested from the thing that happened yesterday when the House of Representatives was occupied by Americans. The People's House was taken over and occupied by the people, which are now considered to be domestic terrorists, and they always have. They've always been considered to be potential domestic terrorists. I've told you guys this again and again and again. I'll play this video for you now. Here, hold on.
And strategy of our region's largest county, and which communities will be at the top of the list for those shots. But first,
look, I've thought for a long time that President Trump wasn't fit to hold the job.
a stunning admission from the president-elect as Democratic leaders push forward with their plan to once again impeach the president, this time over his role in this week's deadly chaos at the Capitol.
And you're looking at live pictures of Washington, D.C. tonight, where the wheels are in motion on an unprecedented plan to impeach President Trump a mere 12 days before he leaves office. Thanks for joining us on this very busy Friday afternoon. I'm Jamie Tompkins.
And I'm Matt Lorch. As early as Monday, House Democrats are expected to introduce articles of impeachment against Donald Trump, fast-tracking a potential impeachment vote for next week. And this time, the Democrats have some Republican support. Tonight's sources telling CNN at this point the draft resolution includes one article of impeachment for incitement of insurrection, laying squarely the responsibility for Wednesday's violent uprising at the U.S. Capitol on President Trump. The question now, will the president resign or be removed before Joe Biden's inauguration? In a tweet from his once frozen account, President Trump wrote, "To all those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th.
One of the few things he and I have ever agreed on. It's a good thing I'm not showing up."
Flags at the Capitol are flying at half-staff in honor of the Capitol Hill police officer who died from his injuries in Wednesday's riot. Most Democrats are placing the blame squarely on President Trump for what happened on Wednesday. Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she has spoken with the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman about preventing President Trump from using nuclear codes. In the House, lawmakers are making plans to introduce articles of impeachment, and they believe they can move quickly.
Every day that Donald Trump is president of the United States is a day of grave danger.
Senator Lindsey Graham dismissed the idea, saying any attempt to impeach President Trump would not only be unsuccessful in the Senate, but would be a dangerous precedent for the future of the presidency.
I will definitely consider whatever articles they might move.
I think it's important we get on with the business of getting him out of office. The quickest way that that will happen is us being sworn in on the 20th.
You know, it was almost exactly 1 year ago.
Okay. Okay, we're back. I don't know what was happening there. Obviously, something happened. Apparently, the OBS froze up. We're trying to get a live Skype call in on the stream. So it's kind of overworking the computer or the OBS or something. I don't know. But we're working on it. So if anybody wants to give a donation, it's Dabs for Donations Friday. There's clickable links in the text body of the video. Craig has a Bitcoin wallet, clickable. You can like use your phone and hit the QR code on your phone there for the Bitcoin. If anybody wants to, all you new Bitcoin billionaires want to give a little something back to Mox News for the years of service, that would be really, really nice of you. But again, it's Dabs for Donation Friday. I could really use a bong hit, so if anybody wants to give a little something, that'd be really nice of you. Other than that, I'm sorry we didn't get through that video, but again, what I really want to point out is that these people are being treated as
new thought and fresh
terrorists.
thought,
Okay, the idea somehow that the people are terrorists. You know,
Back to your
the
book,
protesters.
Astrophysics for
If you're
People
a
in
protester,
Hurry.
that you're
14 billion years ago, the universe started. You say, how do we know? How do we know that?
Pete, are you there?
So the way knowledge
Okay.
is acquired scientifically
I guess
is you have an idea.
And look at you got 7 different audios going there.
And then if it's an expensive experiment, you probably don't have the money.
I
to do
can't
it in a
hear you.
garage.
No.
So now you propose to get
No.
funding from sources. Typically, if it's pure research, it'll be a government.
Okay, but
source, the
there's
National
some
Science
audio
Foundation.
going on. I
NASA
don't want
has a
going
research
on
arm.
over my
If you're
stream.
in the
So
other
if Pete
fields
has
like
it, then make Pete stop the
biology,
audio.
human
If you
physiology,
have it, then you
you might
stop
be
the
getting
audio.
a grant
Wherever,
from
I
the
don't
National
want that
Science
audio going out
Foundation.
over my stream.
And so you have this idea, you build an experiment, and you test it. And if the results of that experiment match your expectations,
So I don't know if it's a
then the
television
foundation of
or
your
what it
idea
is.
gains some currency in the conversations you might have at
But it's still going on.
scientific coffee lounges.
There's an audio stream going on
Then
on your audio, on the audio you want me to turn on.
I have a different, scientists are human, we're people too, right? So, and I think
Okay,
you're wrong.
it's not on
And
this
here's the
computer.
experiment I'm going to build to show that you're wrong. So then you
Okay,
build an
it's on a
experiment.
different computer. I don't know if it's on whatever.
That's interesting, because you had no intent of matching me. You don't even like me. But now the results match.
Okay,
and
see,
someone
watch
else
here.
does
I'll
it.
turn
You
on.
always
I'll
have
turn
some
on
knowledge
the audio
just
here.
because of the experimental
no audio coming through on my computer.
uncertainties that exist in all experiments. There'll always be some outliers. But when there's a general,
It's that same. Listen to me. It's that same audio from before that you had. Whatever it was that. Remember when we went live early and there was that audio coming through? It's that same one.
And you have these few outliers here. So now we come to recognize that this is the new truth, the new objectively established truth. And that's what science does. It is the most effective way we have ever devised as a species, as a culture, in decoding what is and what is not true about the natural world. Nothing rivals it at all. And so once we've done this, then I say, here is how the world works.
Hey,
And we
Pete,
go on
can
to
you
the
hear
next
me?
problem. And this is a celebrated thing. I mean, it's what got us relativity and quantum physics and gravity.
No, there's this audio. Can't you hear this audio? Can't you hear it?
You couldn't have these machines. What is a machine? It's something that converts energy.
It's the same audio that was happening the other day that you had trouble finding where it was at.
In another form. So what is a car? It takes.
Right, you found it the other day.
Those don't require high technology.
Yeah, we still.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yay. All right. So again, I'm just trying to have a discussion with you guys. If you want to have a discussion, good. I don't want to sit here and yell at you about, about what it is that I think, unless of course you want to yell at me back, like the last caller. You want to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I've watched this happen 1,000 times. I've watched bills come to the floor. Somebody says, we'd like to bring this bill to the floor, and a senator stands up and says, I object, and that's it. It's withdrawn. Hello, caller, go ahead.
Yeah, you were talking about a filibuster, right?
Filibuster is part of the process, but I don't think that that's actual, because it's not like. A filibuster is generally when a senator takes the floor for a long period of time to keep a vote from happening. Basically, it's kind of part of the debate. But what this is someone brings a bill to the floor to be presented for a vote, and the speaker or whoever's sitting in the president's seat or whatever says, is there any objections? And if somebody says, I object, then it gets withdrawn. I've seen this happen over and over again. This is what happens in the Senate. This is what the Senate is all about. It's completely different from the House.
Because you are the C-SPAN junkie, and you must have seen it yourself with your eyes 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, I've seen it 1,000 times. I just read it, from off the Google. It says, can one senator stop a bill? It says right here in the United States Senate, a hold is a parliamentary procedure permitted by the standing rules of the United States Senate, which allows one or more senators to prevent a motion from reaching a vote on the Senate floor. So,
and how long does that objection stand? How can the other senators get around this guy's objection?
I think that once the objection is heard, then the process has to start over again. Like whatever, you have to get back in line with your thing to, say, okay, I want to present this for blah, blah, blah.
And since you've seen it with your own eyes, and I don't doubt you a single bit, Mike, the objections generally were based upon what? Finance?
They don't even have to say what the objection is. They just say, I object.
And these are on financial and
from what I understand, it can be on any bill presented.
And the filibuster would come after that to prevent a final vote, right?
Filibuster, like I said, I believe is part of the debate process. This keeps the debate process from even starting.
Okay, because, we've seen Mr. Somebody Goes to Washington. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
Where he stands up for, 24 hours. And I don't even think they can take a bathroom break. They can't.
They can have another senator speak while they go and do whatever it is they need to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I thought they always carried a little jug around their ankles, or they had a hose hooked from their dick to the jug, so they just peed in their pants while they were talking.
Well, a lot of times they're on their own, There isn't a senator they can call on to speak, So they're like, it's just them standing up against, speaking truth to power. And And that means, yeah, I got a jug tied to my ankle.
But the ultimate point that you were trying to make with this guy from wherever he was is that nobody ever does it because they're all playing the game for their own self-enrichment.
It's more than that. It's if someone steps up and says, I object to the defense bill going forward, then then it's like, oh well, you don't want America defended. How can anybody vote for this guy? And next thing you know, you're a communist and blah blah blah.
Yeah, they catch a lot of flack, which is not in their own self-interest. So they go with the flow,
right?
Which is in their self-interest because they want to keep their job as a corrupt, spineless, feckless little senator.
Yeah, their position of power. They want to keep their position of power.
And so the real guys with balls, they get booted out of there real quick, or they get plots against them from the deep state, like Donald Trump has been fighting for 4 years.
Yeah, like now they're trying to get rid of Ted Cruz and this Hawley guy because they're saying, oh, those people need to resign from the Senate. There's no way fucking Ted Cruz is going to resign from the Senate, but they're making a big deal out of it because, oh, they encourage this shit too. Fuck you. Fuck the goddamn. It's the people's house. The people took it back. Don't give me this terrorism bullshit. I know what terrorism looks like, and I'm watching these people on the fucking. I'm watching them on TV right now, and what they're doing is they're pushing fucking police that are standing in the way out of the way. They're not swinging hammers at them. They're not shooting them. They're pushing them out of the way so that they can occupy the people's house. That's what happened.
You didn't happen to catch the video of that girl being shot, did you? Did you see
yeah.
that today?
Yeah.
It's brutal, huh?
Yeah, it's really sad. Craig wanted to play it yesterday. I wouldn't let him.
I didn't see it till afternoon today. It was pretty fucking brutal, man. So I think that cop inside the door just panicked. She stuck her head in through the glass, and it was all over. Boom.
Well, I'm sure that the motherfuckers were talking before. All we got to do is make an example of one of these fuckers, and they'll all stop.
Yeah, well, the spin machine is in overdrive, full speed, on steroids. This is the worst thing ever to happen to America. This is worse than 9/11.
Everything is the worst fucking thing ever to happen to America. Every goddamn week it's a new worst thing ever to happen to America. Go ahead.
This is even worse than murder on this, man. It's like they insulted the seat of democracy in the free world, and one of them had bullhorns on his head, and that's a sin. Jesus is coming, and he's going to get that guy. I saw one senator or somebody, some public official, being arrested today. I think that was a Pennsylvania guy being arrested because he was one of those ones that went in through the door. They're only arresting the ones that went in through the door, So, yeah, the spin machine is going full speed, and this is a terrible thing. And, a lot of these people are actually serious about impeachment. It's like, we got to get him out of there now. He can't have any nuclear codes.
Because it worked out so well for them the last time they tried this, fucking 6 months ago or whatever.
What do you mean?
They fucking tried to impeach Donald Trump already, and it worked out so well for them, we got to do it again.
Well, it's all a public display. It's like, we got this guy. He's a criminal. He's the worst president who ever existed. And now we're going to have a free country now that we finally got this terrorist president out of Washington. That's their narrative. And the Q people are still saying, well, we still have a military alternative and we can still exercise the Insurrection Act and blah, 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 blah. It's like, God, you got nut jobs, 90% of the nut jobs on the in the Senate are just grandstanding, making stupid statements like, we can fix America now, but nothing's going to get fixed. And then the Q people are saying, we can still hang the senators and install the president again because he's the savior of the world. And it's all just bullshit. It's like, But the thing that is for real, undeniable to anybody who has brains, is that, the media is owned. Twitter and Facebook is owned. They are tools of the deep state. The deep state owns America, lock, stock, and barrel, 90% of it right now. And what I'm interested in, what intelligent people, if they're thinking forward, what these people think might be happening, because there's no way to change what just happened. I don't agree with busting through the doors, but I do agree with everything that happened all the way up to the steps to the doors. But you don't bust through the doors.
It's the people's house, man. It's the people's house. The people, and that's the real big thing that really is, that just gets me to the core, is that you see these talking heads, the news models, the news readers. You see them. You see the politicians. They call it the people's house, and then when the people occupy it, they call the people domestic terrorists. You know, I love seeing the people. I love this. This is what America is meant to be. I'm absolutely certain the founding fathers would love it too.
Well, they called the students at Kent State. They said they had guns and they were terrorists and they were violent and there were no guns and they weren't
fucking hippies with passing out flowers and shit, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So even back then, you could spin a story to make the righteous seem like the wicked, but right now, America is occupied by the wicked, and they are inhabiting the so-called people's house, and they are senators and congressmen, and the Speaker of the House is as wicked as it gets. And I'm very sorry all this shit happened, but I'm really interested in...
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry it happened. I'm really glad it happened. Why are you sorry that it happened?
Well, 5 people dead, dude.
Well, people die. It's one of those things you can count on people to do.
Right, but I'm interested in what comes next. It's not like I got any power. I can't do nothing about it.
We have all the power. We just have to move beyond the bullshit, the fake division. Then we have all the power.
Well, we also need a plan. Even if all the people realize the fake division, I don't see any plans. What are you going to do?
Well, I say let's go do what just happened and fucking take the house back and not leave. You know, fuck those people. What are they going to do? Are they going to call the military in and fucking start shooting tanks at us? You know?
They might, man.
There's this huge misunderstanding that somehow these people should be protected from the people of the United States. Fuck that. Those people are supposed to be representing. We're supposed to have access to them. They're supposed to listen to our fucking concerns. And obviously, the reason that those people crashed into the fucking House of Representatives, so-called, is because they felt that no one is listening to their concerns. You know?
And they were right. But if you look at the French Resistance in World War II, they had really elaborate plans to get around the enemy they were fighting. And Occupy had pretty decent plans to try to get around the emerging police state. Or it was already here. The police state. And today, the police state is in full force. The deep state is in full force. The media is just on overdrive with the propaganda. And so what my point right now is just to say we need intelligent people to put forward strategies that are going to work, because that strategy didn't work. That's all I'm saying. That strategy didn't work. That's all I'm interested in.
What strategy didn't work?
Busting through the fucking doors. It worked for the deep state, but it didn't work for the people.
Look, it did work for the people. It showed. Look, unless you're somehow buying into the mainstream media, it showed that the people have the power. The people can take this back. That was a very, very small group of people that did that. You know, if the people actually came together to say, no, this is our government and we're going to start holding people accountable, they have that right and they have all the power to make it happen.
Well, you saw Occupy. They had Occupy Washington, Occupy LA, Occupy your heart, Occupy Congress, Occupy this, Occupy that. And that was a bigger movement with better strategies, and still it didn't work. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying
it didn't work because, again, there was this false division. Those people were hated on, like the fucking protesters all summer long were hated on. You know?
Right now, who's being hated on? It would be...
Just like the
people,
protesters right now are being hated on.
Well, those protesters represent something. They're representing people like me who know for a fact that the election was stolen and that the deep state is now in control of America, and the media, the weaponized media, is attacking the people with propaganda like, oh, don't give them the nuclear codes, and all the Trump supporters need to be arrested, and Trump should be thrown in jail for treason, and he didn't do nothing, and it wasn't that big of a deal anyways. So what? They messed up in Pelosi's office and broke a few windows. No, they didn't shoot anybody. They didn't hurt anybody. You know, that was the extent of their assault on the people's house. And 5 people died, including a cop today, I guess, died. I think he was hurt, maybe, but I'm not quite sure how the cop was hurt. But in any case, I don't have a very good vision of, other than deep state, of what's going to happen in the future. I have no idea. It's almost like we're in limbo, in a fog, in a bayou, and you can't see anything. There's shadows, and it's like a swamp. Just like a swamp.
Yeah.
The swamp took over, dude. That's what happened on the 6th of January, was the swamp took over.
The swamp took over a long time ago, man. I mean, this is what Donald Trump was talking about 4 years ago was the swamp. You know, the swamp is it, and I think that's just a bad analogy. I get where it's coming from, but you know, these are evil doers, and they're doing it in our name, and we should be outraged, and we should be down there claiming the house back every fucking day of the week until we get some people in there that are actually representing the working class in this country.
Yeah, and if we did get people down there every day, the media would come and they would call us terrorists, and they would interview us, but if we said anything sensible, they would never put it on the news, because they want to paint anybody who's against this established system as crazy, dangerous, radical, and terrorist. But I see my country being taken over by the New World Order, and there is a good thing that you can see from the media spin and all the senators going into overdrive calling for impeachment, and arrest all the Republican. I think they wanted to fire or arrest the 141 senators that actually objected, right? They wanted to arrest or do something to those people that had every right to object. And that in itself, along with the media, weaponized media on steroids and all the spin that's happening for the last 2 days, tells you they're scared shitless.
They're scared shitless, dude. They want this never, ever, ever to have anything like this happen again. The people occupying the people's house, we can't have that. Never again. Never again. I'm sure you're going to hear this over and over. Never again.
Yeah, they want to basically rewrite history and make the good guys the bad guys and the bad guys the good guys. But so there might be a small wake-up call happening, but mostly people are just going to fall for the media narrative, and these are crazy guys. The guy with the horns didn't help. He ends up being some crazy New Age shaman dude who's also Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and
they're fucking Americans, okay? We got to get beyond this label shit, man. It doesn't work for any of us, okay? He's a fucking American who fought to take back the people's house. That's who he is. And you want to say, oh, he's Antifa and all this shit. Well, then why wasn't he spray painting all the walls? Why wasn't he ripping all the art down off the walls? Why wasn't he toppling statues? You know, that's not what it was about. It was about Americans taking back the people's house.
Well, why? And that's the reason that the Capitol Police let them in through the front or side doors, because they were in on it, right? It's like, I'm sick of this.
I don't know why that they did that. It doesn't make sense. I think they did it for reasons like you're saying and other people are saying, is because they wanted this event to happen so that they can lock down even more. I have a video here about an 11-foot tall fence went up around the Capitol building today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's on. You've been doing this a long time, Mike, and I don't think anybody's ever seen anything close to this since Civil War or the War of 1812 or whatever. But other than the media spin, I think it's just another fucking day, despite the fact that I wanted Trump to win the election and expose all the fraud. But I'm interested in, how do you feel about it? Was it a great, big, giant deal, or is it just another day in America? How do you feel about it?
It's fucking beautiful, man. Okay, I every time I see these pictures, and I don't know, I see them on the news, on the mainstream media, as if somehow it's supposed to be incredibly threatening to all of us. But I see all these Americans just surrounding the Capitol building, all over the steps of the Capitol building, American flags flying everywhere, and somehow I'm supposed to feel threatened by that? What the fuck is happening? No, it boils down to this thing that I keep saying, you know, people shouldn't fear their governments. Governments should fear their people. And for a minute there, the government really feared their people, and this government isn't used to that. Okay?
Yeah, the very same people who send young men and women off to die in foreign lands for fake wars were pissing in their pants and hiding under the pews because they heard a couple of gunshots out in the lobby. You know.
Yeah.
The very same people who would say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry your son died," or "I'm sorry your daughter died," were hiding under benches and shit. It's a way overblown event.
And the truth is that, okay, I don't see them as having something to fear from these people. Okay, unless of course they're evildoers. If they're evildoers, then they know accountability is coming their way, unless they stay hidden really well. So of course they dive to hide. Okay, you see the motherfuckers wearing these fucking blow up helmets for like chemical fucking attack and shit. The members of Congress with the fucking.
I saw one of them. Yeah.
It's insane, dude. They're terrified of the people, and the reason that they're terrified of good people, good American people, flag waving Americans. Why would they be terrified of that? Except for they don't do their job. They know that they've sold those people down the fucking river. And when you do that, yeah, maybe there's some accountability coming your way.
Yeah, I think they're scared shitless. They really want to put a lid on everything. They want to bury Donald Trump. He's off Twitter, off Facebook. His YouTube channel's still up. And fuck, if they give him an interview over the next 4 years, it'll be highly censored and edited.
Yeah.
And they want to paint him out to be the Benedict Arnold of the 21st century, you know.
Well, there's going to be a lot of interviews, and it's going to be. It's not. He likes the attention, so it's not like he's not going to be on Fox News every fucking morning like he has been for the last fucking how many years now. Okay,
well, if you think about the poor guy, and I do feel sorry for him, he was right in every respect about stolen election, and he's got a big ego, so he's hurting pretty bad, and he's trying not to show it because you never let him see you cry. So I feel sorry for Donald Trump right now, but he's a big boy, and he's been through some shit. You know, once he reaches
Fuck
60,
Donald Trump. I feel sorry for Melania, man. Can you imagine that? She must be like just a whipping post from hell right now. Just fucking. And you stupid cow! You know?
He's not a wife beater.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a beautiful son, Barron, 15 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And let's not jump all personal. Maybe they.
I can't feel sorry for Donald Trump. He's been given everything on a fucking gold platter since he was fucking 1 year old. How in the world can I feel sorry for Donald Trump? Doesn't make sense.
He tried his best, and he lost. And I'm always for the underdog, dude. And I see Donald Trump in this particular situation as the underdog. He's the one they came down on relentlessly for 4.5 years. It's like, fuck, I've never seen anybody take so much shit in the public arena. Even Harvey Weinstein didn't take so much shit. Donald Trump took more shit than Harvey Weinstein. They were giving Michael Jackson shit. Think of everybody that's painted negative that you can think of who's famous. Donald Trump took more shit than anyone I can think of. And he was a president. Unbelievable disrespect. And I hate his Middle East policy. Fuck Israel. I hate Zionism. I don't like Donald Trump's half of the stuff he does. Holding up a Bible, ain't communicating, okay? But in this case, he got his ass whooped, and I feel a little bit sorry for him, despite the fact that I dug 1,000,000 miles of ditches while he was eating caviar his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
So I don't hold that against him. He tried to stand up as best he could for a guy with NPD, and you know what? I'm a little bit proud of him, despite his royal assholiness. I'm a little bit proud of Donald Trump, and that's probably the only time in my life I'll ever say it. But yeah, I feel a little bit sorry for the guy because he had so many enemies, and he wasn't smart enough to outwit them. It was unbelievable. That's the historical event. But the victors write the history, so we'll see what happens. But I'm more concerned with America, and he bowed out for the sake of America, I think, not for his own damn sake. So
he bowed out, hoping that he's not going to have the fucking 25th Amendment worked on him, or or have another impeachment hearing on him.
How can you fight just 10,000 media channels? People hating on you like that. How do you fight it? You have to bow out, man.
Well, maybe you don't go on television maybe you don't act like I want to be the center of every fucking news camera there is, because that's what he's done the last 4 years. Look, I can't feel sorry for Trump, but I feel sorry for the American people that the obvious manipulation of the elections, obvious shenanigans going on, and then the refusal to treat the people as if the politicians work for them, instead of acting as if it's we the people that we have to respond to. They call them domestic terrorists and say, yeah, those people are a threat to all of us. Those people aren't a threat to anyone. They didn't do anything. They didn't burn anything. They didn't set off any bombs. They didn't topple any fucking statues. They didn't rip down any paintings. They're not a threat to anyone, and yet they're being labeled domestic terrorists by piece of shit politicians on both the left and the right.
Well, you know what would be really great? He's got, how many more days does he, when is the inauguration? It's not on the 20th, right?
Yeah. It's on the 20th.
Is it on the 20th?
Yeah.
Then he better fucking pardon Julian Assange real fucking quick.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you when you were going to send me those seeds, because you have the address, right? Are those feminized seeds, or are they like regular seeds?
It's just regular seeds, but there's a whole bunch of them. You'll never run out.
Awesome.
And they grow 10 foot tall, Mike.
Well, that's a little bit of a problem, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, they grow 10 foot tall. They're crossed with Matanushka, so hide them from your neighbors if you can.
I got to figure out how to make them grow in a tent.
Yeah, well, that's what he should do, man. Shock the world.
and by the way, when I have plants growing in my backyard, all my neighbors know it. They can see it, and they can not only smell it, they can see it very clearly.
How's you don't have privacy?
I have like the house behind us is like up maybe 15 feet higher. The ground level is 15 feet higher than our ground level, and
they're looking down on.
And it's a 2-story house, and then we don't have any fences or anything, so.
Yeah, I got barbed wire around my entire property, man.
Yeah.
People try to come through with this fence or that fence every year, and I've got 30 years of bougainvilleas going through the barbed wire. It's like, dude, if you actually get it into my yard, you're gonna look like Jesus in the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah,
we're just all tore up.
Hamburger Hill, baby.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's so serious that I find myself pulling away from it emotionally, because America has been fucked up for such a long time. This is just one more fuck up, really.
I agree. This is, and that's what I've been saying. This taking over of the Capitol really isn't about Donald Trump. It's about America being fucked up for way too long, and the people have had enough. Hey, Mike, I'm sorry, I gotta take a break, bro.
Okay, take care, Mike.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so I have a video here about the building of 11-foot tall fence around the Capitol building. I will play that for you now, and I'll be right back.
Developing now at 3:30, we're learning House Democrats are expected to introduce a single article of impeachment against President Trump on Monday in response to his role in Wednesday's deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol.
A draft of the impeachment article obtained by ABC News shows Democrats plan to charge the president with, quote, inciting insurrection. They claim he willfully incited violence against the government of the United States at the rally outside the White House Wednesday, outside the Capitol there. At least 153 Democrats plan to co-sponsor that measure.
The White House responded to that news in a written statement, calling the impeachment effort politically motivated. It goes on to say the president has done a great job and that this effort will further divide the country.
This all comes as more lawmakers call for the president to step down. In the last 2 hours, Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska became the first Republican senator to call for the president's resignation. In an interview, she said, quote, I want him to resign. I want him out. He has caused enough damage, end quote.
Also breaking right now, Twitter has now permanently suspended the account of President Donald Trump, saying it is due to the risk of further incitement of violence. They say in the context of horrific events this week, we made it clear on Wednesday that additional violations of the Twitter rules would potentially result in this very course of action.
Also developing now, multiple arrests being made following the pro-Trump extremist siege against the Capitol.
Here's a look at the growing list of people who have been arrested so far. It includes Richard Barnett. He's the man seen photographed in House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's office when the violent mob stormed the Capitol. Barnett was arrested by the FBI in Little Rock, Arkansas earlier today. Federal investigators are also trying to track down these suspects. They released this bulletin showing dozens of individuals they're now trying to identify. Anyone who recognizes someone here is asked to contact the FBI.
Meantime, a murder investigation has been launched into the death of the Capitol police officer who died after he was injured during the rush on Capitol Hill. Capitol Police say Brian Sicknick died from his injuries sustained while responding to the riots, becoming the 5th person to die. 2 officers say he was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. Happening now in D.C., new security measures are in place following Wednesday's violence. You can see the gate behind me, the 7-foot tall non-scalable fence. Authorities are worried about new threats as they prepare for Inauguration Day. National correspondent Dr. El Nashar has the latest from Washington.
A 7-foot fence surrounding the Capitol, windows boarded up. Thousands of police and National Guard members, visceral reminders threats on the nation's capital remain. Emotions still high in person and online. where far-right groups like the Proud Boys promise more violence. Some rioters not satisfied with the damage done Wednesday.
I think we should have gone on in and yanked our senators out by the hair of the head.
Newly elected Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina saying this week she doesn't feel safe.
I didn't go to my hotel last night because I didn't feel like it was safe to do so. I was accosted on a street of D.C.
Looking ahead to January 20th, Inauguration Day already poses massive security challenges. Now, those challenges are even greater.
Now, even before Wednesday's attack, the leader of the Proud Boys encouraged followers to turn Inauguration Day into a, quote, circus. Now, Secret Service says they're preparing for every possible scenario.
I have confidence in what is going in the planning that's been underway before this and continues with the Secret Service.
As of Friday afternoon, at least 90 arrests have been made. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti.
We still have a significant amount of work ahead of us to identify and hold each and every one of the violent mob accountable.
The FBI continues to solicit the public for tips to arrest Wednesday's rioters, and authorities are searching hotels and businesses for anyone who stormed the Capitol and might still be in the city, like those who attacked this Capitol police officer. Time will tell who might show up to cause trouble on Inauguration Day. One person who won't be there is President Trump. On Capitol Hill, I'm Atrel Nashar.
A bit more information on that. President Trump will not be attending President-elect Biden's inauguration. Trump tweeted today, quote, "To all of those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th. A source tells CNN that the Trumps are currently scheduled to leave Washington the day before the inauguration, but cautions that plan could always change. Today, Biden said it's a good thing that Trump isn't attending, but said he would be honored for Vice President Mike Pence to attend. Yesterday, a spokesperson for Pence said he hadn't yet been invited. 3 other former presidents plan to be at that inauguration. Democrats Bill Clinton and Barack Obama have signed on to attend. Former Republican President George Bush has also RSVP'd and hopes his presence will inspire unity. Former President Jimmy Carter and First Lady Rosalind Carter will not be able to travel to Washington on January 20th.
Stay.
Okay, so Dabs for Donations Friday. I could really use a donation. I could really use a dab if anybody's interested. There's links there in the chat, or you can go. You can check the description box. There's links to go to the chat. There's also a QR code that you can scan with your phone there on the screen. If any of you new Bitcoin millionaires would like to kick down a little something for all my many years of good service, that'd be very, very generous of you. Any of you guys who want to kick down a little something, it'd be very generous. Only one donation this week on Monday. It always, it always helps if you guys can give a little something back. Plus, I want a fucking dab, Don't make me sit here and beg for dabs. That's no good. Okay, so, again, what I see happening is I see voices being censored. I see people being called insiders. I see people being called domestic terrorist. Is probably the worst thing that a U.S. citizen can be labeled as a domestic terrorist, without hesitation from people on the right and people on the left. They hate us that much. They can't wait to label you people. Whatever it is, the label they're going to put on you. They love the labels. And that's why I say don't let these labels work, man. These, don't apply them to yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm a liberal, I'm a this, I'm a that. I'm a stoner. But that's just the facts. But don't let these people, don't take these labels and don't stick them to yourself. Don't stick them to other people. Because when you do that, all that happens is it's like this, you shut off your brain to them. They're just always going to be this label now. It's not, whatever they're saying doesn't matter. They could be trying to save your life and all you know is that they're this label. So it only works for the rich. It only works for the elite. It only works for the powers that be that want to keep us divided. Stop attaching labels to people. Just see them as Americans, as your neighbors, as just somebody to say hi to. I say hi to everybody. So everybody for me is somebody to say hi to. So I have more videos. I think it's very interesting again, though, that you see these people and they're arrested. They're having their photos put up. They're being shown as I just don't see these people as terrorists, and yet that's the word that's being attached to them, and I think that word needs to be reserved for the worst of the worst, and that these people are Americans that went in to occupy the people's house, right? They keep calling it the people's house. They didn't burn anything down. They didn't blow anything up. They didn't spray paint anything. They didn't shred priceless paintings or crush fucking statues that can't be replaced. They simply occupied the people's house. And then for an act that I believe the founding fathers would have been proud of. I really do. Because they fought. They fought for this country. They fought for freedom. They stood up against what they saw as a corrupt government, and said no more. So when I'm sure that when they see these people, these proud Americans waving American flags, taking back the people's house, occupying the people's house, standing up against a corrupt government, that they could be nothing but fill them with pride, forgiving them for enshrining in the Constitution their right to do just that. And it's just so disgusting to see these politicians and representatives, so-called representatives, labeling these proud Americans the worst thing you can possibly call a citizen of the United States. A terrorist. They're terrorists. They're here to kill us all. And yet they didn't do anything like that. They didn't do, they just, I see it as a very, very peaceful thing what happened, because when it's not peaceful, when it's not peaceful, there's fire. We watched in Portland all summer long. There was fires, but it wasn't peaceful. They were getting rubber bullets shot at them. They were getting flashbang grenades dropped on them, And it was pretty much never them that started it, So it was never them that started it. It was because they wouldn't go home. It was because they had a green laser and they were shining it at us, so we shot them with rubber bullets. And again, you should get your green lasers. They're going to outlaw those green laser pointers. You guys should get your green laser pointers now, because they're not going to be available much longer. And they are extremely handy in situations like this. So And for a whole lot of other things. The dog. Boo Bear, you like the laser? You want the laser? Should I go get the laser? Ooh, give me laser, laser, laser. Ooh, I love the laser. You love the laser, huh? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's the laser? Where's the laser? It's around here somewhere. You want that laser, don't you? Give me the laser. Give me the laser. I know it's around here somewhere. Where's that laser at? I'll get it. I'll go find it. You're my beautiful baby, Boo Bear. You're my beautiful baby. He loves the laser. His sister loves the laser. So, like I said, they work for a lot more things than you might imagine. Hello, caller.
Michael, this is Steve motherfucking McClanahan, and we've got a giant army here tonight to let everybody know that drinking motherfucking alcoholic beverages here tonight in America is probably the best thing that you can do right now, currently.
If you want cancer.
What?
If you want to get cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Right.
If I want to go to St. Jude's Children's fucking hospital,
no.
After I've donated there all my life, is that what I am? Is that
I don't
exactly
know.
what I'm
Are they
trying to
going?
do?
Are they going to let you in after you've donated there all your life?
And drank massive amounts of tasty beverages.
I do enjoy a
guess
tasty
not,
beverage.
Apparently, according to you, Michael.
I do love a tasty beverage.
I tell you what, tasty beverages are delicious.
That's the
I'm
tasty
drinking
part.
a tasty chocolate milk stout.
Ooh.
Beer.
Wow, chocolate milk beer. Wow, I never heard of that before.
Yeah, you probably couldn't handle it because
I can't.
this shit's for men.
I can't handle alcohol. I don't drink alcohol because I can't handle alcohol. It's too powerful a drug for me.
It's not a drug. It's just alcohol, dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
it's
They
much-
don't put that shit in the coronavirus vaccination.
It's much too powerful a
But
drug
they
for
should.
me.
They should put this beer in the coronavirus vaccination right now, currently. Shoot everybody up with it.
Oh, would you get it then, Steve? If they put it in, if they put alcohol in there, you'd go and get your virus thing then, your vaccination.
What?
If they put alcohol in it, you'd go and get your vaccination. Is that right?
Yeah, you need to have like whiskey, rum, a legit IPA mixed in with it. And no, not mixed in, just mixed together.
Uh-huh.
Put that in a couple of bottles, okay, and then you just drink it. You do not need to take a vaccination out there in this fucking world. You just get a couple of fucking IPA, some whiskey, and some rum, and I tell you what. And then all of a sudden you're like, I want bourbon, I want scotch, I want beer. I mean, you've already had beer, but then you want bourbon, scotch, beer, rum, and a little bit of whiskey on top of the bourbon. And then all of a sudden you're keeping a positive attitude and you're not a fucking paranoid, schizophrenic, fucking super psycho fucking human, thinking that you might have COVID-19.
I don't think
By
like
the
that.
way, 98% of the flu has been down. Like, literally, there is no more flu thanks to COVID.
Gotta look at the silver lining.
No, you gotta read between the lines, Michael.
That's all I do.
I read between the lines, man. I tell you what, they're like, fuck you. You're a stupid ass fucking human, and we're gonna fucking put a bunch of fucking words in our mouth. And we're going to continue to spew those words for America. Which I have to tell you all this right now. America is a very tiny little place on the fucking goddamn entire planet of the earth, floating on fucking in the middle of the universe. How hard is this to understand? You know who should be blocked from social media? The people that fucking run social media. You should go over to their house and we should punch him in the face.
No.
Yeah, you should punch him in the face.
You will get in trouble. Don't do that. That will make you get in trouble. Big trouble. You'll be labeled a predator. Don't do that.
Video of it, I would be like, you know what? This is kind of funny.
Doesn't matter.
He doesn't go to jail for very long.
All right, Steve.
Michael?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready to play a video clip. What are you doing?
I'm drinking a beer. I'm getting ready to load a bowl for all you people over here. I swear to God, dude, I got a legit motherfucking steamroller.
Right on.
I got a fucking legit steamroller from like 1942.
Wow.
It was made from a beer can. And not only that, we got real legit flour here.
I love
I
flowers.
wish I could show you the flowers.
Me too.
I could wish that I could show you the flowers.
You could take a
But the
picture of it.
flower
You could take a picture of
is
it
the town.
and send it to Craig, and then Craig could put it so we could show it to everyone.
Yeah, well, I'm not able to take pictures because the government controls my fucking
brain.
My shit, apparently. We're not allowed to do that. No
Okay.
more flowers.
No more flowers.
And oh, god damn it! I just fucking kicked my beer over. It's fine.
Uh-oh, you better go,
We
Steve.
are fucking doing it. Wilco, are you here? Wilco! Oh my god, my TV!
All right. All right,
TV
Steve.
is not. TV's fine. TV
Okay,
is
that's good.
fine.
That's good. That's
Oh
good.
my god.
Okay.
Go over into the TV, but Wilco, are you there?
Oh my God, Steve.
Hello?
Pete, are you there? Pete, are you there?
Hello?
We're all here. We're all fucking here. We're doing a conference call right now. We're doing a legit podcast right
Okay.
now, currently.
Okay, Steve.
With 100% the best fucking goddamn
Steve, I gotta
callers.
get a bong hit lined up, buddy.
All right, well, we will hold, dude. Just, fire up your torch and everything. We'll hold and stuff.
I gotta play a video clip while I fire up the torch.
You don't actually have to do that. We don't actually have to hear the video clip. I'm sure it's going to be terrible.
No, it's gonna be good. It's important.
Well, what is it? What is the fucking video clip?
It's about the veteran who got shot at the Capitol building.
No, dude, we already know about all that, okay? It's tragic. Everybody mourns. We're sad. She shouldn't have been there. Nobody should have been in there.
Yes, of course they should have been there. It's the people. Why shouldn't the
Dude, can
people
we
be in the
drink a beer?
people's house?
Can we drink a bong hit?
Yeah.
Can we
Okay.
just
Okay.
do-
All right. Steve's on hold. I'm gonna play a video clip for you, and we'll come back and see if Steve's still on hold when we're done. Let's see. I have a video about the veteran that was killed in the Capitol yesterday. And I think it's important, and that's why I want to play it for you, actually, a second time.
We're learning more tonight about a San Diego woman shot and killed Wednesday when, according to authorities, pro-Trump rioters breached the U.S. Capitol building. Capitol Police publicly identified Ashley Babbitt as the woman who was killed. And Babbitt's husband, Aaron, told our sister station his wife was a San Diego native and spent 14 years in the military between the Air Force and the D.C. National Guard. Babbitt said his wife went to Washington, D.C. to take part in Wednesday's protest where she met up with friends. He said he sent her a status check text message about 30 minutes before the shooting and never heard back.
She didn't have any weapons on her, and I don't know why she had to die in the people's house. That's our house. It's everybody's house. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't know why she had to die inside the house. I saw the pictures. I had to see the pictures of my wife dying on the news.
Well, the chief of the Metropolitan Police Department said in a news conference today the woman was shot by one Capitol Police officer with a service weapon after protesters breached the fencing.
She loved her country, and she was doing what she thought was right to support her country and joining up with people, like-minded people that also love their president and their country. And, she was voicing her opinion, and she got killed for it.
Babbitt was transported to a local hospital where she later died. The officer was placed on administrative leave in accordance with police policy. Police also say 3 others died during medical emergencies.
All right, so let's see. I owe Wolko and I owe Brandon. I owe Brandon a big fat bong hit. So I have one ready to go right here. This one's for Wolko. Wolko first. Thanks, Wolko. You're the man. Brandon, thanks so much. It's very generous of you. If anybody else wants to give a donation, there's clickable links in the text body of the video, or you can check out the chat has clickable links. Also, you can go to moxnews.com. And then there's a QR code on the screen. And if you scan that with your phone, you can make a Bitcoin donation for all you newfound Bitcoin millionaires. Otherwise, I got a dab to do for Wolko, so I'm gonna get that ready. And when you look at this picture and you understand what it is, there's the people occupying the house. There's the people, and then there's the police state and how they view the people. As we just shoot these people in the fucking face, which is what they did with that 14-year veteran who was unarmed and simply occupying the people's house. Not smashing stuff, not threatening people, simply occupying the people's house. And for whatever reason, the powers that be are very threatened by that. Hello, caller.
Michael, my brother. How you doing, you sexy son of a motherfucking bitch?
I'm doing good. How about you,
doing?
Pete? I'm doing good. Doing good. We had a good walk today, so that's really important. I makes a big difference in the dog's world. And with the dog, things that make a big difference in the dog's world makes a big difference in my world.
That's good. So as long as the dogs are at peace, you're at peace.
I get a great deal of satisfaction from knowing that the dog, is feeling happy, contented, somewhat. I get a great deal of satisfaction from that.
That's great too, man. I know that too. I think I care more about animals myself than I do actual people.
Yeah, there's the Dr. Dolittle film, the original one with Rex Harrison. There's this part where he's getting ready to go to the moon. He's going to fly a moth to the moon, and the leading female role says, "Can I come with you?" And he's like, I really relate better to animals than I do to people, so no. I love it.
Yeah, I feel the same way these days, honestly. Yeah. Oh, I like that sound. You know what? Let me join you. Let me join you in that sound. I got my own little bong hit going on. Oh shit. Where is it? I have it laying around here somewhere.
Drunk?
I forgot where I put it.
Drunk Pete is smoking weed? Oh my God.
Nah, dude, I'm back on the edibles. I am back on the edibles. Just tonight, because it's the weekend, it's a special occasion. And I'm smoking with chow. So
it's nice to have a puff. It's nice to have a puff once in a while.
Yeah, bro. I try to stay on the edibles, and I like the edibles too because they help me sleep really good.
That's really awesome.
Good because I have a lot of difficulty sleeping. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and get some really potent indica or something because I can't sleep at all, and the doctor wants to send me to a sleep study, try and figure out what's wrong with me. I can't. But it's not anything new. It's been since I was a little kid. So.
marijuana has always helped me sleep a lot. My edibles.
That's really good. That's awesome. I don't get that. I might be using the wrong strains. I usually am drawn to sativas, so it might be partially why I don't get the sleepy from the weed.
Yeah. I don't know. Either strains work for me, but yeah, I've always been partial to the indica. Like, you know.
I really want to grow more indicas. I really want to sample more indicas. In the past, I've always loved indica. You know, when I was in high school, we used to get this Humboldt weed from Humboldt, you know, from Northern California, and that's all it was called. It's just called indica. What do you got? I got indica. Fuck yeah, give me some of that shit. You know,
I love indica. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
That might be one of my preferred, because I'm all about chilling and, you know, meditative, you know, going to sleep, relaxing type of shit. That's what weed's always been about to me. So I like the indicas.
I like a real kind of heady, you know, make you imaginative kind of thing. That's what I really like.
That's my shit. I love all weed, obviously.
I'm
not partial to any weed.
I can't imagine. You said, like, before you started listening to me that you weren't using weed, right?
What the fuck are you talking about? No, I never said that, ever.
Oh, you said you weren't eating weed.
Yeah, I never ate weed, really.
Well, good. I'm glad that you had it before.
You were one of the people that got me into learning about it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, extra dimensional, that does sound pretty good. Green Dragon, huh? I will keep my eyes open. Let me know if you need a mailing address.
I'll talk to Craig and you, you know, after the show about that. Sure. We can definitely make some arrangements.
Oh no, yeah, that's very nice of you, Pete. If you want to send some gummies, I mean, it'd be awesome if you could send some for Craig. And I'd love to try your gummies too, but I have my medicine and I'm, you know, I grow it and everything. So.
You don't even know, bro. Amazing.
I'm sure it is. You've always made it sound quite amazing, Pete.
It's great. I love it.
And I'm really glad to hear that.
You know, but smoking, the thing that sucks about smoking is it lasts for fucking 10 minutes. And that's the thing that always sucked about smoking and vaping and all that shit.
There always seems to be...
When you eat it, you're high for, you know, good rest of your day.
It's right, exactly. You eat a little bit. That's why I always tell people in the morning you have a cookie with your morning coffee, and then you go about your normal day, and you are fucking good all day long, and it's a beautiful thing. And you know, the other thing about smoking, Pete, is it seems like there's kind of like a ceiling on how high you can get that doesn't quite exist in the same way with the edibles. Edibles, you can get very fucking high.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, what temperature do you decarb your canvas at again?
I've been doing it at 275. What temperature do you do yours at?
That's a good temperature, Mike. Yeah, I've been doing it too low, and I think that may have been affecting my post too.
Huh. Yeah, I wouldn't do it any higher than 275. That's as high as you want to go, Pete.
275, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that like around 240. It's all dependent on time too. So, you know, I mean,
it probably has something to do with.
I've heard around like.
Go ahead.
240 or 245 for like 45 minutes is around pretty standard for like what gets you a pretty good decarb. I don't know.
Nice.
I'm all about that decarb, bro.
Yeah, I know. You said, and you do it in the jars that you actually put the butter. Are you still using coconut oil or?
Oh fuck yeah, I'm all about that CC, son.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a good way to go. I keep seeing.
Yeah, that with some lecithin, with some gelatin, make some great gummies with that shit. Fantastico.
You need to make a video, dude. About how
I know. I keep changing my method. I keep improving it constantly.
Yeah, you need to make a
I've
video.
never
You
made
should.
a video. I did film 2 videos and then didn't want to post them because I improved it, or so I thought. So,
Awesome. Awesome.
One day. Now I'm all about. It's really not about. I used to be all about. Like cooking it. When you go for like 6 or 5 or 7 whatever hours.
Uh huh.
I used to be all about like making sure the temperature was really high. But it doesn't really matter, at that point. It's the decarboxylation step is actually the most important step, and then the infusion part is really just about making sure that you get the THC off the plant and into the oil or butter or whatever.
Right.
Which takes a lot of time. But and I use a stirrer. I use like a little.
It doesn't. Listen, for those of you who want to cook your own weed and are new to it, it doesn't necessarily take a lot of time to make it happen. But if you want to do a real thorough job of getting as much as possible out of your weed, if you just do it 5 minutes in some olive oil, you're gonna get a nice kick out of it. Trust me.
Or no, I've heard of people take like a nug and they put it like on some like peanut butter in between 2 crackers.
Huh.
And they put it in the toaster. At like that perfect temperature.
Right.
For a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then you eat that, and you'll get nice and baked if you cook at that perfect decarboxylation temperature.
Right. If you get the weed heated up properly, that will work quite well.
Little stoner tricks.
I used to take it when I would get sick and I couldn't smoke. What I'd do is I'd heat it up in the oven for like 30 minutes, and then I'd grind it up and put it into gelatin capsules and eat it that way. That would work really well because you get a sore throat or whatever, you can't smoke, and you're like, oh, I gotta have some fucking weed. You know what I'm talking about.
Eating weed. I love eating weed. Eating weed's awesome.
Are you giving away gummies at work still?
No, I don't give them away anymore because now it's like a precious commodity. It's like my medicine.
My precious.
I don't do none of this.
My precious.
My tolerance is way too high. Yeah, I'm like Gollum in Lord of the Rings now. It's my precious. I'm fucking not giving any of that shit away. It's not. But yeah, it's good. It really is. It really is the medicine of the gods. It's great. I love my medicine.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I couldn't imagine life without it.
Hell yeah, dude. Are you? You're probably doing more edibles these days, I assume. But you started vaping or smoking a little bit again. I've noticed.
I'm definitely taking about 3 or 4 puffs a day, which is my normal thing. Is 3 or 4 puffs a day, but I'm eating about the same amount of weed. I think I'm eating a little bit more, but I've always eaten a proper amount to start with. So.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. Eat weed. Eat weed all day.
Yeah,
I kiss my ass.
Every time I give somebody some cookies or some brownies, I say the best way to do this is to eat a cookie with your morning coffee. And the reason I say that is so many times you'll give people edibles, and what they'll do is they'll take it home, and after they work all day and then they fucking clean up around the house and they prepare whatever, and they get ready, and then they eat their weed, they go, oh, it just made me go to sleep. I'm like, fuck you. That is not what it did.
You're right. Well, you're right, because it's like, yeah, It's very dependent. If you're tired, yeah, you don't want to do. If you're like, or me, if I'm like hungover, I'll do a lower dose. Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to gauge it very carefully.
Hey, you just get up in the get up in the morning and eat a cookie. Get up in the morning and you eat a cookie. You don't have to gauge it perfectly. You just got to get up in the morning, eat a cookie, and you know what? And then you go about your normal day as if nothing happened. And what you'll find is you'll be going, hey, you know, things are pretty cool, and and I'm having a really good day today. And then something weird will happen, and you go, whoa, what was that? And you go, oh yeah, cookies. Wow, I like those. That's a good idea, eating cookies in the morning. I'm going to eat cookies every morning from now on. Give me cookies. Me like cookies.
I'm saying you gotta figure out your dosage. You know, it can turn sour very quickly.
Well, I always encourage people to start very small. The cookies that I give people, I don't want to scare people from eating weed. I want people to realize this is something I need to do every single day. So I make small cookies. They're,
Eating weed is a beautiful thing. Eating weed is a beautiful thing. That sounds like a new song.
The what song? Well, what are you doing this weekend, Pete?
Yo, bro, I'm gonna be smoking mad dope. I'm gonna be fucking chicks.
Nice.
From the back. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking drinking rum cocktails.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna be like, yo, all this shit's bullshit.
I watched this movie, man. It's called The Walk of Shame. You might like it.
The Walk of Shame?
Yeah, it's about a girl who gets drunk and picks up a
When
bartender.
did it come out? Who directed it? Who done it?
I'm not sure. It's about this girl who gets drunk and picks up a bartender.
Wait, hold on. Let me write it down because you have good recommendations.
It's pretty
I
fun.
like Peter Sellers. What did you say? What was it?
The Walk of Shame.
Walk of Shame.
It's a fairly new movie. I think it's like 2015 or something. It's got a very...
I'll watch it, Michael. I'll check it out.
Yeah. It's free. There's an app on my Comcast box that's called Tubi. It's on there for sure. But I found it free on the Comcast, and the Tubi is actually available on the phone too, so... If you don't have the Comcast. Man. Anyways,
hey,
glad to hear you're getting some.
The protesters that stormed the Capitol, right?
Yeah.
I know you talked about it. I wished I had called in, the past few days when you were talking, when you were deep in it.
Yeah. Well, we're here now.
I feel like I'm kind of late to the conversation.
We're here now. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have really mixed feelings about that, dude. I really don't know how I feel about what happened there.
You don't know how you feel
a
about...
A lot of those people are being prosecuted now, which
right.
I feel really fucked up about. Like, those people the guy that posed at Nancy Pelosi's desk, and the other guy that dressed up like a Man Bear Pig or whatever the fuck, the barbarian guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That guy's pictures everywhere. So, like, those people are like in the scope of the, they may potentially be prosecuted.
Dude, all those people that entered that building are going to be prosecuted.
I know, it's so fucked up. I don't really feel that's right. Even though I don't really feel like, when the protest got to the point of breaking into the Capitol building was when I felt like it kind of, I'm all about occupying, but, when it comes to breaking and
but that's exactly what they did, Pete. They didn't destroy anything. You know, they could have destroyed priceless works of art that you can see these giant paintings on the walls.
You're right.
You know, and they didn't do anything like that. George Washington statue they could have toppled. Nothing like that. They didn't set any fires. They didn't do any spray painting. You know, so I see it as just.
It was a protest. It was a protest. It was a protest that got super out of hand. But if if you had listened to the media, it would tell you that it was some type of these people were
domestic terrorists.
What I'm looking for. Yes, domestic terrorists. That's exactly the word I'm looking for.
That's what it's not just the media. The politicians are calling them that. All the powers that be are saying, "Oh yeah, these are the evildoers." It's not that the police on the ground, that the Capitol Police, they're not the ones who caused the violence. It's all these people caused the violence. And again, in my opinion, this was an extremely peaceful group of people. I see barely any damage at all done.
I would agree with that subject, and hold on, I'm going to unplug it. Sorry, I was hitting my bog. Man, my mom gets some good weed. That shit is fucking good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I tried to get my mom to use weed, like, pretty much from the time I became an adult, and was able to say things like that, and she would never act like she approved at all. Like that's what bad people do. So sad.
But I don't want to lose track of what I was saying. I think I already did. But the protesters, I don't know. I still want to say I think maybe they took it a little too far by breaking through the doors. I think it ruined the whole message of what the fuck they were trying to do. If they even had a message, I don't think they had a message really. I think they just kind of wanted to fucking piss off.
Look, the message. Look. The message is we have the power. This is a very small group of, again, what I see as very peaceful people.
I don't feel like it came across that way though.
That's
like
because
you're
judging it from the media. You're judging it from the media. You're judging it from the politicians. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, the media made the whole... I looked at it, and I thought it was fucking great. Like, I honestly thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great thing. They mocked fucking Nancy Pelosi. It was crazy, because, like, the Secret Service guys pulled the guns on the fucking protesters, and it got fucking crazy out of hand and fucking ridiculous. But, overall, I thought, it was kind of a statement of how people are frustrated with the system. Everyone's frustrated with the system, left, right. Everyone.
That's what I keep saying. It doesn't have. What happened on that day doesn't really have all that much to do with Donald Trump. It has to do with.
No, it had nothing to do with it.
Many decades of misleading the good people of America and soiling the name of good America. Go ahead.
But I was trying to make a point, and I forgot it. But yeah, I thought the protest. Here was the point I thought I was making. The protesters kind of fucked it up. I don't know. I thought because they. This was what I was saying. The media took what the protesters did, and they skewed it into this whole crazy thing of how it was like almost like a coup. Like they were part of some type of Donald Trump coup. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Like, it was so
kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, no, this is what I said immediately.
People mad.
You know, is it the media just starts labeling people? You know, they're like the first thing they called these people were anarchists. Okay, and again, there was no bomb set off, there was no fire set, there's no fucking spray paint all over everything, all over the granite walls and the hollow grounds of the Capitol.
It was like a heavy metal concert. It was like a Metallica concert. That got out of fucking control.
Right.
Literally, that's what it was.
Right.
It was like a fucking Bonnaroo.
Rushing the stage.
Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
And a Bonnaroo concert that got out of control. Everyone got too drunk or something.
I think it looked a lot like that too.
And they just weren't prepared for that. And that's what people were talking about, was like the security was like not ready for what the fuck was going on, which is really crazy. And how they weren't prepared, which is why like people were talking about, oh, this is a setup. Like they were setting up this to be, you know, they didn't put security in place to make the protesters look like, to make them look worse.
Well, they didn't put the security in place so that they can use this as an event in which they can say, oh, well, this is why we have to lock things down more, and this is why we need more money so that we can lock things down more.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is true.
But that's a good part of it.
Yeah, all this bullshit that they it's just sickening. Anything that they can use as ammunition. Any little thing, and it really was funny. It was like, dude, it was like that shit was like watching a professional wrestling, like when the Hulk. When there's a hardcore match going on, and then
but it's nothing like fucking terrorist. It's nothing like terrorist, right? Like you said, it was this entertaining kind of thing where this shoving match basically, and but it wasn't terrorism. There wasn't like bombs being thrown. There wasn't Molotov cocktails being thrown. There wasn't, I didn't see anything like that. What I saw.
No, it was a protest.
Yeah.
It was a 100% protest. That was it.
What I saw was
nothing more than a protest.
People trying to occupy a building to send a message. That's what I saw.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And they succeeded. It was an utter success. And it really pissed off.
And then the spin machine goes into overdrive.
The establishment and the media, and the stories in the news the next day were so funny to read. Like they were so outraged that they couldn't believe that the people could be so frustrated.
I heard him saying shit like, I heard him saying shit like, oh, and leaders around, Putin is laughing at us right now, I'm like, who the fuck cares what Putin thinks? Putin's getting his dick sucked by 16-year-old girls right now. Fuck you, he's laughing at us. We got better things to do than that.
If their hands on Putin, they would rip Putin out of his fucking millionaire condo and fucking beat him to fucking death if they fucking could.
Putin doesn't care. Even more than Putin doesn't care, I could give a fuck what Putin thinks. Okay,
because they don't. Russia doesn't give a fuck what we do because they really don't give a fuck about our continent. It's our continent.
Why would you? Why would you give a fuck other than the fact that you keep launching ships and fucking wars around the world and you have bombers flying over our territory? Other than that, why the fuck would I give a shit about your country? But that's what America has set in place is this, oh, well, we have to be concerned because you're in position to fucking, you act like we're your enemy constantly. And you have this overbearing military that's everywhere all the time.
No, It's our military-industrial complex. That's it.
Yeah.
And our economy is built on war, and we can't forget that. That's why we're constantly perpetuating war. Our economy is built on Lockheed Martin and fucking, Boeing and fucking General Dynamics and all these big fucking companies,
Yeah.
Employ a lot of people in America. It's fucking sad, and we need to get our economy away from fucking war. do something better with it, because we have a lot of smart people in this country. We could do something so much better, and they put all our scientists into, figuring out how to make missiles to shove up some Afghani guy's ass from fucking 5,000 miles away.
There's a lot of smart people in this country that could make so many, and it's not just, the scientists and everything. There's so many good people and so much good, just good that could happen with all the money that we spend in this country, all the things that we make happen around the world. We could make happen so many good things, with the trillions and trillions of dollars that we give the military-industrial complex to make us look evil. We could be making happen so many, all the things we could make happen in our own country.
That's where all of the fucking money goes.
All the things we could be making happen in our own country. We could, if we just took the money back from the military-industrial complex for a couple of years and spent it in our own country on infrastructure and things that really matter, then we'd be on top of everything, and then we could take the money that we've been spending again on the military-industrial complex and start making good things happen around the world, because that's what we should be doing. Right now we're this evil invading force that's selling weapons to both sides and making wars happen so that we can come in and say, well, we got to make this stop. It's horrible who the American government is, and it's being done in your good name with your tax dollars, and you deserve better. That's all I'm saying.
I'm in Michael, this is something. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. About protesters though. That shit's fucked up. They're never gonna let that shit go.
All the protests now moving forward, all the protesters are going to be domestic.
Dude, people were talking about that. Like, this is the most despicable act that's ever happened in modern America. People were so mad about it. It's like, dude, Americans are mad. Americans are frustrated with the system, left and right. There's I forgot who said this, but there's a populist left, there's a populist right, and there's the establishment in the middle. And that's how it is in this country, and I agree with that. I think that's true. And people just can't. People are too busy fighting with each other to realize who the enemy is. The enemy, but that's what I think, Michael.
I'm always surprised when people act like somehow the protesters are bad people. I mean, this is a proud American tradition, and to me they're very brave. They're standing up against a comply or die police state, and they're always doing it in order to for a better, to fighting for something better. They're tired of this bullshit and they want something better. That's the only reason people do this in the streets. And then it's this fucked up media immediately. Like they even did it with the Iraq War protesters and stuff. That they're just just fucking scummy. When they were protesting Vietnam, they were just hippie drug users, dope smokers, And when we protested Iraq, I think they tried to vilify the people. They always try and make the anti-war people seem like they're anti-America. Like, why aren't these people supporting our effort? Why aren't they supporting our soldiers? And again, that's just this manipulation of the truth. The people fighting to end war are supporting the soldiers more than the people that are fighting to ship them off to die so that they could make a profit, right?
Of course, dude. Of course.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about us, like Tupac always said, They don't give a fuck about us,
They don't. True. They don't.
And I've always held that to heart. And what are you gonna do? But but keep on keeping on.
March or die.
Yeah, you just gotta keep on keeping on. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna let someone else speak because I'm quickly losing momentum. My edible is kicking in.
Good to hear from you, Pete. I hope you're looking forward to a nice weekend.
It's fucking Jesus Christ. Fucking 12 o'clock where I am. You fucking West Coast sons of bitches. All right, I love you, handsome bastards. Craig, you fucking handsome son of a bitch. I love you. Michael, I love you.
It's good to hear
God
from you.
bless. And fucking praise Allah. And fucking, finger your dad and have a nice evening.
All right.
I love y'all.
Stay cool, Pete.
Eat out Tulsi. I love you.
That's our buddy Pete from Rhode Island. All right, so, and it's always good to hear from Pete. As you know, it's always good to hear from all you guys. And I'll tell you right now, when I don't hear from you, for any extended period of time, it always concerns me. I'm always like, oh man, I hope so and so's like I was all over Craig. Like, you got to call Michelle. I need to know what's going on with Michelle, because she said people were getting sick at work and stuff. You know, so. All right, I'm going to play a quick video clip for you here. This is about the Washington State governor activating the National Guard for the upcoming new Congress coming in on, I guess, the 20th of January. So the Washington State governor has activated the National Guard, and they're going to be surrounding the Capitol in Olympia, Washington, on coming up here soon. So that's what we got going for us. I'll be right back.
We have some breaking news right now out of the governor's office. Jay Inslee just released a statement that he is activating the National Guard to be in place for the start of the new state legislative session in Olympia on Monday. Video you're seeing here coming out of D.C., not Olympia. But the move comes in the wake of the chaos at the U.S. Capitol in D.C. earlier this week and at the governor's mansion in Olympia. Inslee says having up to 750 National Guard members in place at the Capitol is part of the extra security measures being made for Monday's legislative session. Something that we weren't thinking about until Wednesday's events, but are now on the horizon as we look at the horizon, Jamie.
And it
pretty
is
night in the
just
Pacific
a
Northwest,
beautiful
right?
night. Wow, taking a look at this sunset here.
There's my beautiful baby. How's my beautiful baby? I should have gone and got the laser, huh? Should have gone and got that laser. I should have done it. Because you've been waiting for the laser all day. I know. Did we have laser earlier? Oh, we did laser. We did laser earlier. We had the laser. You love the laser. He loves the laser. You love the laser. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, it's Brandon. How you doing?
I am doing good, Brandon. Thanks so much for your donation. That's very generous of you, sir.
Oh, yeah. You know what, man? Like Ron White said, you can't fix fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying?
It's very hard to fix stupid. It's very hard.
Yeah, this whole shit is it's not like a joking matter.
Nope.
But it is good. Like I think you mentioned earlier about how they was all scared and shit. But those are the ones who send people's sons and daughters into war.
Right.
You know, and can you imagine if everyone who lost someone in that lying-ass war that I was a part of that stormed the Capitol building?
Yeah.
You know, just to let them know. I mean, I don't support the notion that, the election was stolen. I'm not buying that. That's just, personally, that's my opinion. I look at numbers and facts.
Yeah.
But it is good when the American people shove it back in the government's face. Like, it is good when Black Lives Matter say, hey, stop this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's
and
not-
they're going to get resistance or whatever.
This is what they're saying, Brandon, is they're saying, whose streets? Our streets. Don't fucking forget it. They're saying, whose house? Our house. Don't fucking forget it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And but it has to send that message to them, you know. But I have to give it to the guy that was dressed up in the Dungeons and Dragons outfit. I have to give it to him. You know, he was totally prepared. You know, I can see his avatar being on Fortnite in the next couple months or something, or someone's going to make that avatar.
It makes a lot of sense. You're talking about the guy with the horns,
yeah.
right? The guy with the horns,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, it's like some shit out of some low-level wrestling competition. You know, like at a fire station. Someone comes out there in an outfit. But yeah, but
Well, you probably got to be a special kind of crazy to, you know, rush the chambers of Congress, you know.
Yeah, I was hearing one interview where this gentleman was like that. He went inside the building, and then when they came out, he was like they were smoking weed in offices. You know, like
I heard that too.
And you're right. Yeah, they didn't destroy the historical, you know, stuff of the statues, the portrait.
Things that things that could not be replaced. They could have gone in there and really caused some havoc and some damage, and they did not do that. It's not just that they didn't do it; they chose not to do that.
Not to, exactly. Yeah, but they sent a message, and I believe this is going to lead to more regulation. You know what I'm saying? And the more of us to lose our freedom. You know, it's kind of like when Trump said, hey, if you destroy a statue, you'll get 10 years in prison. Or whatever.
Yeah,
You
more
know, like, you
more
know,
police state. Everything is about bolstering the police state. It doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter what we do. It's like oh, we're gonna defund the police. I don't think so. Look how a bomb went off in Nashville. We certainly can't defund the Nashville police who were told that the guy was making bombs in his fucking car. You know, because what would happen if they actually got defunded? And the same fucking thing. You know, they're not doing their goddamn jobs. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think majority of the callers tonight, you know, I mean, we all got different opinions, but we all come to the same conclusion. You know, and it is about our freedom, and if our freedoms are in question, then they need to listen to us. You know, because I'm biracial, so if Black people say, hey, look, for decades we've been abused by the criminal justice system, listen to it and fix it. You know,
act like maybe that's a thing that actually happened, and maybe we should be concerned about it happening and not continuing to happen if it's actually going on.
Exactly. Like if you look when that bill passed and Trump vetoed it, and he gave that little press conference like, why are we giving all this money to all these other countries and let's focus on us? And they override his veto because that money they're giving away goes to American companies who have shareholders in the stock market.
Yeah.
But those are the elites of the elites who own those shares. It's not the 60 to 55-year-old woman at Walmart, you know, or the plumber, you know, or the truck driver who's on the road 4 days a damn week and he can't be with his family because that's how he pays his bills. And I think this sends a message because I didn't like the tone of where they was like, well, we're not going to give people $2,000. How the fuck can you not give us something that's fucking our money anyway? Right?
Which is still just a pittance. I mean, it's just the tiniest amount of money possible they could give us. Go ahead.
Yeah,
And it is our money, and I agree. I agree. By the way, it is our money, and they don't have any problem giving it to the military-industrial complex or whoever else.
That or building
foreign countries, Israel, whoever else.
Yeah. I mean, come on, like you're building roads in where a bomb blew up a bridge. Okay, that's their problem. You know, and but yeah, it's just really fucked up. But you know, now we got to see what, you know, how we're going to listen to the next administration or the next government.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I personally look at it. And then we go from there. But I hope that this next administration can really help out the American people. Now, some people might not agree with people making a little bit more money a month, but I live in Missouri, but Missouri voted on $15 minimum wage a few years back, and this year, you know, just how like Washington State did, every year it kind of progresses up, right?
Right.
3 or 4 years down the road, you're gonna be at $15 an hour.
Right.
But if those companies are getting the tax write-offs and the tax breaks, and if we can give somebody a little extra money to where they can wean off of Section 8 or HUD or welfare, to me that's saving money.
You know,
to be honest with you.
it's so much cheaper to give somebody a place to live and you know, an education than to have to fucking house them in prison for, you know, half their lifetime.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God, man. You know, and you're absolutely right. And like how you were saying, like, you know, when you were saying wherever you was younger and you became an adult or whatever, and you was like trying to tell your mom to smoke weed, and she was like, you know, like, no, that's not a good thing. You know, it's just out with the old and in with the new, with a certain level of understanding to where people can adapt, you know, and just respect it. But to sit here and to criticize all these other nations for what they do to their citizens, when we do the same damn thing. You know, we actually take people's rights away to never be able to vote or to never be able to protect themselves again, just because they did something stupid when they were 17 years old, right? You know, and but hopefully maybe these politicians will understand how important it is to address the nation's grievances, because now you got both sides, the left and the right, protesting. And if they ever come together, it's a wrap for these motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying?
We have all the power. If we can just, if we can move beyond the pretend divide that's being programmed into our brain by a mainstream media that looks like that looks at Americans and calls them domestic terrorists that didn't commit any fucking violence, you know. I'm disgusted, and if we can't do better than that, you know, I mean, I just don't. I question who buys into this shit where they're looking at this and the mainstream media is like, oh my God, these people are domestic terrorists. Who believes that, Brandon? You don't believe that, do you? I mean, you don't.
No. Well, yeah. Well, wait till the next time it happens, and there's a drone strike in, I don't know, Virginia, you know, where, you know, they call in the drones to start dropping bombs on American citizens.
Right.
You know, and seriously.
Or whatever other military weapons that they decide to use. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's lots of choices there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But it's something to say that we did live through, no matter how ugly it was, just like 9/11. And we've seen where that got us. We lost a lot of freedoms because of, you know, it's like you blame the entire religion of Islam for 18 or 19 bombers or whatever, or hijackers that flew some planes. So now Muslims are condemned in those countries for I don't know how many fucking years, right? And just like you can't condemn these people for the same shit, people's always going to make. Everyone has their agenda, you know. I mean, there's people that still go to Catholic church and let their children be, you know, choir, you know, altar boys or whatever, you know. But they don't hold, you know, the Catholic church or every priest or whatever the hell them guys in robes dressed up like wizards, whatever the hell you call them.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. They're not all of them are child molesters, right? But when you put everybody in a bag and say, hey, this is what it is. If you're a Republican and you're white and you're a racist, if you're a black person, then you're going to steal my cell phone like that dumb bitch in New York did, right? You know, it's just, yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous. And it plants seeds in people's heads. You know, that's why cops shoot black people extremely quick. Because they have seeds planted in their fucking heads with training videos and statistics of crime or whatever, but not really addressing the underlying issue of poverty, right? That's really what it is. If someone, you know, can provide for themselves, they're typically not going to take nothing that's not theirs. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree. There's other considerations too. I played a video last week or the week before where they were talking about black children in particularly, but I think it applies to most children. If they have a negative interaction with police officers at an early age, that they are 11 times more likely to lead a life of crime.
Yeah, well, it's like I have a neighbor that lives in Pittsburgh, and I was talking to him, and we've been going back at it back and forth because he doesn't understand what he said, and he goes on a walk, you know, a couple times a week for a few hours because he has a heart condition, and that's how he stays in shape. And he's a veteran himself. And he was like, you know, there's, you know, I walked by this new guy that moved in the neighborhood. He's got like 3 cars, and they're all nice cars. He's a black guy. He probably sells drugs. And I was like, hey, I was like, hey, how come a black guy can only own 1 car? I mean, just talk to him. You know, and he called offense to it because I was busting his balls, right? And he lives in a nice neighborhood. He owns his house. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, like. And I try to get him to understand, like, that's those seeds that's been planted, like the seeds that had been planted. And what I told him, I'm like, a lot of the reason why black people run from cops, because every time they grow up, they hear these stories about how police did their family members or uncles or whatever, right? And it's story after story. So they don't want to get arrested because back in the day, someone would go pick up their uncle, and their uncle would be beat the fuck up. They're like, what happened? I got pulled over because my taillight was out. You know, and it's just those type of stories, right? Yeah. And I'm like, so it plants seeds. We plant seeds in people's heads. Because there's a reason why everyone loves the firefighter, but hardly anybody loves the police, unfortunately.
Well,
you know?
it's also, Brandon, let me say real quick, like back in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that, all the movies, you know, the TV shows, all the criminals, or not all of them, but the vast majority of them have been people of color, you know, and it's a scare thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's in the movies you see this little scantily clad young lady going somewhere, and all of a sudden she's in a dark kind of alleyway, and there's like black people, you know, and it's like, fuck you, you know what I mean?
It's just
but it's been
like Dirty Harry.
It's this exactly, but well, in Dirty Harry, in Magnum Force, the cops were the bad guys. So
but it's like, you know, it's early in the morning, and 2 black guys are going to rob a cafe.
Yeah.
And the lady puts like 20 cups of sugar in his coffee. Then he walks back in there like, wait a minute, what's wrong with my coffee? You've been making my coffee for years. Yeah. And then he's like, well, do you feel lucky, punk? Right. And that plants seeds in people, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and it does. And then
it's programming. It's this programming that I keep talking about. You know, people are constantly being programmed.
My daughter is 8 years old. She just turned 8 on the 2nd. And she had a homework assignment. And my kids here in Missouri, we elected for our kids to stay home while everything's going on. So they learn at home, you know, through Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
And she had a homework assignment that it said, get a map and tell us the story of where your ancestors are from and how they came over here and why. Right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, well, baby, our ancestors are from Nigeria. They're from Italy, Germany, France, and the UK, and they came over here on a boat, and I left the sentence like that. Because I don't want to tell my damn 8-year-old, like, the real truth of history. But why would that question even be in a fucking book to begin with? Because it's like they want to divide the kids at a very young age.
Absolutely.
Right? If you're in class and you're a young kid and you're being told about slavery, and if you're a white kid, you're being told, well, we own them, and if you're a black kid, you're being told they owned us. That's a division right there, very at a young age.
Absolutely.
Right? We ain't got to do that shit. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
And it's so much simpler than that, really, Brandon, too. I mean, that's the negative programming that I constantly talk about. But they don't teach any kind of empathy or caring about other people, and how we can make society better just by reaching out and showing care to someone. We're just programmed to be more and more divided and more scared of each other, and you got to wear a mask. That person's not wearing a mask. Why is that person not wearing a mask? It's fear, and it's ratcheted up to a level I've never seen it before at this point. So,
but it is what hopefully. I know it's probably going to get worse, but hopefully this younger generation can figure it out. Because the generation we got now that's running the shit, they just keep fucking it up worse and worse. And I have this conversation all the time with a lot of my buddies, whether I'm from the South, we're talking about goddamn statues or some other shit, or what the fuck ever. It's like, it's not kind of hard, but it's reality. It's kind of hard to sit here and bitch about police violence when a lot of the African American communities are fucked up, right? But we got to figure out why shit's fucked up and fix it. And that's just not going to happen overnight, because all these seeds have been planted. And
but I think the parts of the African American community that are fucked up, like you're saying, that kind of justify the police, whatever, blah blah blah, which don't justify it in any way. But that's by programming. That's done by design. The powers that be want it like that. They want those parts of the community to be fucked up. It's like I keep saying, the police need there to be criminals. They need there to be criminals. You understand?
Yeah.
They need that. And the last thing they want to do is end crime.
Oh yeah, because then there's no need for jail.
No need for
then
cops.
There's no need for control. Yeah, but all that money that you just, and it's like I was trying to tell somebody. I'm like, listen, regardless of what you think about that crime bill. That crime bill gave a lot of people a lot of jobs, and they was able to send their kids to college, and it unfortunately it helped the economy. Period. If you look at it at the economic standpoint, wrong as fuck as it was, it kept making America a powerhouse. Like if we got more people in fucking jail than any other fucking country, then the economy's booming. But we don't look at it that way, But yeah, man, that's all. I just want to touch bases with you, Mike. It's good to talk to you. It's good to see you up and running.
Yeah, Brandon, 5 days this week, bud. Pretty good. We're getting back.
There you go, man. I'm proud of you, man. All right? Take care, Mike.
Hey, Brandon, it's always good to hear from you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Okay.
Thanks so much for your help, bro.
All right, man.
Okay. You can tell he's got some stuff going on around him, and he's like, I gotta go. I got stuff I gotta take care of. And that's our buddy 2 Bronze Star Brandon. If anybody wants to, Craig is pointing out that if you join the Coinbase, which is where if you donate Bitcoins, which is the QR code on the screen there, if you donate Bitcoins to Mox News, they go through the Coinbase. That's where my Bitcoin wallet is. But if you join the Coinbase, then and you use this link right here, then you get $10, and we get $10 too, or I get $10 anyways, which is nice, I guess. I don't really know that. I don't really understand how it works. I don't know anything about it. So Craig just put it up on the screen, so I thought I'd share it with you. And then also, it's Dabs for Donations Friday. So if anybody wants to kick down a donation, again, there's a QR code on the screen there for whatever donation you want to make, or for the newfound Bitcoin millionaires. And also, if you want, there's also clickable links in the chat, or there's in the text body of the video, or you can go to moxnews.com. It's easy to leave a donation. Brandon gave us a nice donation, and I owe him I think 2 Bronze Star, Brandon. That was our last caller. Two Bronze Star, Brandon gave us, and you could hear him talk about, you know, the horrible wars he had to participate in, and understanding, you know, why people are taking over the House of Representatives, the people's house. He understands, okay, and so do I. And like I said, I don't think it has all that much to do with Donald Trump. But he kicked down a nice donation, so I got to kick down a dab for Brandon. Hope he's still around. It sounds like he had business to take care of, but hopefully he will see me. I gotta do it. I gotta do a dab for him anyways. And if you want me to do dab for you, again, there are the clickable links there in the chat. They're in the text body of this video, or you can go to moxnews.com. Easy to leave a donation if that's what you want to do, and I will do it quickly, a dab for you too. Because it's Friday. Why the fuck not? We can. I can. I want to. I'm glad to. It's nice to share a donation, a dab, with people that are so generous as to share a donation with me. With us, really, because it's the donations that keep us going. Us being this show. And as I've always said, you all are part of this show. So, I got a dab to do. I got that going for me, which is nice. I got my beautiful baby over there on the laying down by the river. Got the QR code for the Bitcoin donation next to the head. Got the Pikachu over there next to the Boo Bear. Got a bong. Got a heated up bong right here. Got to let it cool down just a tiny bit. And I got a dab ready to go for my man, 2 Bronze Star Brandon. All right? Thanks so much, Brandon. You are the man. And thanks for calling. It's good to hear from you, bro. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike. How's it going? Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was just talking to Craig about how you can go ahead and make a full video on your process on how to make that rosin. It's not resin, it's rosin.
Yeah, flower rosin.
Well, I mean, like, the thing is that I smoke resin. Basically, it's the scrapings out of the pipe of the black tar, you know. It's that black shit that, you know, you end up getting. It's like oil, but not oil. You know what I mean?
It's resin, so yeah. I know, it's resin.
I smoke resin, but, like, the rosin is completely different, because that was the process that I was just talking to Craig about, where you severely put too much pressure on the plant, aka the cannabis sativa bud or indica bud, and you put pressure on there with heat, you know, around 190 degrees or so, I believe, from what my research ends up going to.
This is 205 degrees Fahrenheit at about 1,000 pounds of pressure. Go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I mean, like, that 1,000 pounds of pressure, that's way light. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I've done it. I've done it with a hair straightener. I've done it with the clamshell. Clamshell press is about 300 to 400 pounds of pressure. It doesn't. I mean, I have a 7-ton press, so I can do 14,000 pounds of pressure, but that just destroys the paper. It becomes all ripped up, and it's very difficult to get the rosin off the paper then. So, and you lose some of it. So I just using the amount of pressure. I actually am trying my best not to use too much pressure. It's very difficult with the press I have.
I can understand that. My friend has the 20 to 30,000 pound press, so at that point, I can really understand not wanting to go ahead and exert so much force.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep having a problem ripping the paper, and it makes it a lot more difficult. I think you lose a lot of the rosin, and it makes it more difficult to get it off the paper and everything.
Yeah, because the paper would shred and tear as you're pressing down at that amount of force.
It does. You have to do it a little bit slower, and you have to do it really smoothly. You can't be like rah, rah, rah. You gotta be like
Yeah. Yeah, I got you with that. Anyways, bloody hell, I think I wanted to go ahead and maybe discuss the main topic of the day.
Do you get your car back?
No.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, the vehicle issue. Basically, I'm gonna have to. The front end completely broke and snapped, and I am unable to go ahead and deal with that right now.
Oh well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to bring it up. I mean, you can't deal with it. I didn't mean to bring it up. I was hoping for good news.
I'm just gonna have a friend help me out with bringing that vehicle back, or his son helping me with that, and basically I just need to figure out how the hell the government, because they shut everything down, is supposed to be giving us money. Okay, because I'm a businessman. I have my own business like you do, and I need the government, since they shut everything down, to go ahead and give me a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a stimulus check, a little bit of a, hey, we're not going to go ahead and have you completely screwed, okay? Because right now I am at that point where I am absolutely screwed.
Yeah, well, there's a stimulus check coming. I mean, you should probably already be seeing one for $600, and I guarantee you there'll be another one right away for $2,000 or something like that before too long. Once everybody gets signed back into Congress and stuff.
I was hoping for the EIDL grant. I was hoping, because I make money on the side as a side business. I have a side hustle. Basically, something else that I do.
Oh,
where,
good idea.
It's
good idea.
not a regular job.
Have you applied for that?
No, but absolutely guaranteed. I believe I can get $1,000. Absolutely guaranteed. Although they should, within the last, they were debating this within the stimulus and this last check thing. They were debating whether or not they were going to go ahead and give $10,000 to people that needed it as a small business. I might be able to get that $10,000, but at minimum, I at least can get $1,000.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that you got that going for you. I mean, it seems like that should help you get your car a little bit, right? Help get some stuff back in order, right?
Hopefully. I did not apply for it yet. I wanted to go ahead and wait and see until, how this ended up turning out with the whole, law thing and, Trump and, the stimulus checks, because Congress is shit. So, I wanted to go ahead and figure out what Congress is going to go ahead and do. Because it's not based off of Donald Trump. Because if Donald Trump was in charge, yeah, we would all get our money. We would get more than $2,000.
I don't know. I don't know really what would happen if Donald Trump is in charge. I mean, this seems to be what's happening with Donald Trump in charge. So because he's the one who's been in charge up until now. So, and I really think that if he wanted the check to be $2,000, he should have started there and made that clear with the people that he was saying, I want this relief package, and instead he waited till the end, till it was actually passed, and said, no, people deserve much more than that. What the fuck is wrong with you? So, Donald Trump is not on our side, dude.
No, he said $2,000 at nearing the end. Okay, he did say that.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you in some aspects where he's. I mean, I don't want to go ahead and be conspiratorial, but there is some aspect of shenanigans going on. There's something that none of us really know about, because the whole breach at the Congress, yesterday, that bullshit didn't really. I mean, you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
It was a little bit of a setup, and things were not played correctly. Like the toss of the dice, and the dice fell off the table. Okay?
They do that.
Well, I mean, America apparently cannot play the game.
Look,
okay,
I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, okay? Here's what happened yesterday. The Americans went and took back the people's house, okay? And they occupied it and said, we're the ones with the real power. Why don't you act like actual representatives? Because we're tired of your shit. And if there was an actual force of people here to take over this house or to do violence, they could burn it to the ground in a heartbeat. And that's the reason that all these so-called representatives are so shaking in their fucking boots. But nothing like that happened. Okay, it was very, very peaceful, and it was actually a very small group of people. That's all I'm saying. If we come together and move past all the bullshit, Donald Trump, left, right, come past all the bullshit and just come together. We, the Americans, have all the power. There isn't shit. Oh, you're not going to get past the National Guard. Fuck you. We can get past their entire fucking armies. I don't give a shit. Let them, what happens? They fucking fire on us. They act like, oh, well, let's just take out 100 of them. Then 10,000 or million more people are there the next day. We watched it happen over and over again in Portland. You can't just fire on the people. The people have the right.
That is true.
And
that is true. And they also, they removed Donald Trump from the internet. They took him out.
And that's wrong, too.
He's not.
That's wrong. They should not be doing that. I can't stand censorship. I can't stand these petty people who build these so-called free speech platforms that are the biggest soapbox in the world. A soapbox being something that, back in the day, people would carry down to the town square, and then they'd step up on their soapbox, and they'd tell what their fucking issue was. Okay, that's what Twitter is supposed to be. That's what Facebook is supposed to be. That's what YouTube is supposed to be.
5-minute soapbox. I'm not joking. I give you a 5-minute soapbox. I give Craig a 5-minute soapbox. I will give Rufus a 5-minute soapbox. I'm not lying. I will give everyone and every animal and every dog a 5-minute soapbox.
Okay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if you're going to build these fucking giant free speech, the biggest free speech platforms in the world, and then act like you can censor the man who's considered to be the leader of the free world, as if you have more power than the leader of the free world, as if you can tell the leader of the free world what is correct to say and what is not correct to say. That's a bunch of bullshit. And I don't think you should be telling me what to say, okay? Let alone that person. And I've been screaming about this forever. I hate censorship, and the people have to recognize, this out of control. Okay, domestic terrorist, because they occupy the people's house. That's not domestic terrorist. We know what domestic terrorist. We saw what domestic terrorist looks like on Christmas Day in Nashville. Okay, we know what domestic terrorist looks like. That was not it. Okay. And you don't use those words lightly. You don't throw around that word like, oh, it's just, whatever. It's another criminal. No, that's a very serious word in which they can strip away all your rights because, well, you're a terrorist. You don't deserve any rights. So
they say you can't speak.
They say you don't have the right to an attorney. You don't have a right to a fucking trial. You're a fucking terrorist. We don't give terrorist trials. That's the facts, Jack.
Yeah, they don't. Oh yeah, that is true.
All right, Steve, you got plans for the weekend, man?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and work, but my vehicle's down and out, and
can't you rent
what the hell I'm going to be doing.
In Reno, can't you rent a car really, really cheaply, like $15, $20 a day?
Okay, if I could rent the car for that, I can make one delivery and make the payment for that car.
Okay, and that's why I just put that suggestion into your brain.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I don't have a credit card. I don't have a credit card.
That's gonna hinder it.
I want to go ahead and rent a vehicle if I could.
Yeah, I hear you. No credit card is gonna be very difficult to rent a car.
Well, I mean, I'd rather go ahead and just do a loan or a lease to go ahead and buy a new vehicle to just drive.
That makes a lot of sense. They have them for
that kind of money.
They have them for $199 a month, $299 a month. That's less than $20 a day for sure.
Well, I mean, that'd be super easy. That's like $5 a day.
Well, yeah, it's a little more than that. It's it's like $10 a day. $2.99 is $10 a day.
Well, I wouldn't mind. I'm willing to go ahead and go to work, but the thing is that no one's
not me. I'm not
giving
going to
me
work.
That car to go do that.
I hear you.
Well, my friend did, but the car just broke. So,
I hate it when that happens.
I know, and I'm about 4 cars in. So at a certain point, I just need to go ahead and get a solid vehicle that I can actually go deliver with.
You can do it, Pete. You can do it, Steven. Hey, listen, I gotta go. I'm getting really sore. I gotta get up out of this chair. Is there something else you wanted to say?
Yes. I mean, I'm not making chump change. I'm actually making good fucking money.
Right on. Well,
I drive for DoorDash.
Okay,
and
listen.
Within 5 hours, I can make $150.
Okay, well then, why don't you have any money right now so you can fucking make happen what you need to make happen, dude? If you've been doing that for months, how come you don't have any money? All right. So don't. I'm not. Nobody's saying. Oh, nobody's looking down on you and saying, "Oh, well, you just work for this delivery. You're just a." Nobody's saying that, dude. You don't have to justify anything. Okay, just fucking, make happen what you need to make happen, and nobody looks down on you for doing that. All right, I gotta go. I'll talk to you soon. Figure out your car thing. You can do it. You can do it.
I will.
All right, good.
I will. And give Rufus a treat for me. Give Rufus a treat.
Okay, I'll do that.
Have
Bye.
fun.
Bye. Thanks for calling. That's Steven from Reno. Okay, I have a video here about a young woman who was pregnant and had 3 children and called the police for help, and they shot her in the face. And they're not going to be investigating any further than that, as far as I can tell. So I thought you guys should know about her. Her name was Charlena. They say it's written Charlena. I always heard it pronounced Charlene Lyles, and it's a very sad story. I'll be back in just a minute.
Police arrested 2 teenagers in the shooting death of a 17-year-old.
It happened Tuesday night, just blocks away from Marysville Pilchuck High School. Officers found the teen with a gunshot wound and rushed him to Providence Medical Center in Everett, where he later died. Yesterday, police arrested a 16 and 17-year-old in connection to the shooting. Both face murder charges. They say the 3 knew each other.
Today, oral arguments took place in an appeals court relating to the Charlena Lyles wrongful death lawsuit. Lyles was shot and killed by Seattle police in the summer of 2017. She was pregnant and a mother of 4 when she called police to report a burglary. The responding officers shot and killed her in her home after police claimed she charged at them with knives. Her state's attorneys are appealing a lower court's dismissal of claims against the officers.
2020 cast a glaring spotlight on the need to de-escalate police use of deadly force against citizens of color and the mentally ill. The officers here had practiced what Seattle Police Department policies preached, or more accurately mandated. I dare say Charlena would be alive today.
We are told the appeal is also due to the lower court's striking of the plaintiff's expert witnesses.
Well, the push for police reform continues into 2021. The Office of Intergovernmental Affairs putting together about 15 proposals for the Seattle Community Police Commission. They say they will review the proposed Seattle police policy changes. It also says it will seek public comment before submitting its feedback.
Pierce County deputies will get new dash cams and body cams this year. The county council approved $1.75 million for the equipment, and deputies say they've now been ordered. The council added staff positions to process the video footage and approved $40,000 for naloxone training. That's the medication used to reverse drug overdoses. Until June, no police department in Pierce County had body cameras, but Gig Harbor and Tacoma recently added them as well.
That was that same girl from yesterday as I was nipping so hard. That video actually was from yesterday. I didn't play it yesterday for you guys because I just cut it today. I was like, where was that video that I wanted to see? And I found it. So anyways, I have to go to the grocery store. I'm out of food. And Craig has time to take me now. So I need to make that happen. And we don't have any callers, and I'm all caught up on Dabs for donations. If anybody wants to give a donation, it's easy to make happen. There's clickable links in the text body of the video, or there's links in the chat, or you can go to moxnews.com, or you can click the, you can scan the QR code. It's on the screen there. Or and there's also clicks for Mox News merchandise. Like Craig's made up a bunch of cool masks. He has Mox News Knowledge is free, and Guy Fawkes mask, and he also has Mox News coffee mug. Knowledge is free. And a beautiful Mox News t-shirt. So if you're looking for some Mox News merch, Craig has definitely built some out. And this one has the Knowledge is Free on the back also, which I love that. He knows that's my favorite logo. So if anybody wants to, well, we're doing this every Monday through Friday. It looks like this is the first week that we've done Monday through Friday for a little while now, but there have been the Christmas and the New Year's on the last couple weeks. So, but we got Monday through Friday this week. Good deal. So thanks so much for tuning in. Figure we're planning on doing this every Monday through Friday. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. I think we have most of the microphone issues working out now. So I think even if Craig might be running a little late or something, I can still be able to start the shows. Hopefully, I think we have the microphone issue worked out. Otherwise, I hope we see you on Monday. And until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.